let's actually see the teams here. Valley Town versus Liquid. I'm curious to see if the players brought any new things. Speaking of new things, Hype, you've been kind of showing us a lot of different decks each week at Archon Team League. Is that just you play what you think is good every week and that changes, or do you deliberately try to put in some change?
It depends on the team and what is good. So I think like Rogue in general is getting a little bit worse, but then as to whether or not we pick Control Warrior or Patron Warrior, it really depends on who we're looking at. Like a lot of teams, they just love the Freeze Mage Rogue combo, which it's really hard to pass up Control Warrior against that. Although nowadays I talk about in my meta snapshot a bit that the Rogue is actually getting a lot worse versus Patron, just in general. So you can actually safely just bring Patron. It's pretty good. There was some talk, people thought Freeze Mage is okay against Patron, but as more people get practice, it's still like 30% or less for Freeze Mage. So you can safely bring Patron now. But that was the strategy with the Control Warrior in the past. I know Trump likes to do the same thing. He likes to go to Control Warrior. They're expecting a lot of Freeze Mage Rogue, which is Liquid. Nyria is one of the more... he plays Rogue more often than most people. And yeah, he always brings Freeze Mage, so except for last week that he brought Control Mage. He might have actually got me with that since I brought a Warrior with Double Shredder Loatheb, pretty much designed just for Freeze Mage and Rogue. So if I had gotten matched up against him, I'd have actually lost that, which is what we're hoping for.
Yeah, but it's also interesting that, like you mentioned, the fact that Rogue's getting worse, because I've seen Druid go from almost never played at the start of the league to a lot more, and they include about 2-3 tech cards that seem to do very well. Like they all obviously have the Loatheb. Some of them are now playing Harrison Jones, and there's always room for a little bit more tech if you want it, with the double combo. So it's really hard, I think, right now for Rogue to make a good impact.
Wow, look at this.
Loatheb and Harrison are standard, but actually the second Force of Nature it's not really a tech card, but it's a great tech card.
It's a great card. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to explain. It's kind of like you could play the variant where there's only one combo, but that's just not going to do as well across.
Well, how about this, guys? Look at that. It's Control Warrior versus, I'm guessing, Combo Druid. I haven't seen another type of Druid. On one hand, we see Warrior leading, we see Druid leading, but man, I feel like it's 2014. What's going on right now?
It actually looks like that. This is almost like the beginning of GVG. It feels like. But well, just you wait. Neria is playing probably not a ramp. It's possible that he is, but like double combo.
People saying the actual ramp Druid is decent right now. But yeah, like I said, Trump's always looking to get the Control Warrior in. Even I guess he's not afraid of Nyria bringing not Freeze Mage like that Control Mage. I thought it might have scared Trump away from Control Warrior, but it turns out he went with it. So I'm guessing Trump's going to have the. He only plays one Shredder, but I wouldn't be surprised if he brought 2 Shredders and a Loatheb.
Well, that innervate's pretty good. Well, his hand isn't, but that makes it a little bit less terrible.
Yeah. Well, there's still no tell for Neria what type of warrior he's going up against. The innervate can help at any moment. The moment you deny Deathbite, whatever archetype it is going to be a problem. And I get the feeling that unless he picks up a 4-drop right now, or something he can innervate out, like a 6-drop Emperor Thorson, which would be just disgusting, it's going to be really hard to come back. It's already looking super slow for the Druid player, and that's not what you want to be doing. Oh my god. This isn't helping his case.
Actually, that's pretty good, because Trump actually has no real pressure. The Shield Maiden is as good as he has, and as long as Nyria finds his draw, which he just did in the Ancient of Lore, he can still win. Just like one Ancient of Lore, one Azure Drake, that's enough to stabilize. Trump's not putting on any pressure.
So it's just a matter of like waiting it out and getting your curve at some point faster than the warrior can.
Trump still kind of has to play stuff out though. Like Control Warrior doesn't have the explosive combo potential. You can't just armor up indefinitely.
Is he gonna bluff the Patron? He can take a swing here. He might make Nyria play differently.
Okay, that's gonna be a tell. This is such a huge tell. From Neria's perspective.
It's obvious what's going on now.
Actually, one thing that's interesting is Trump plays. I believe he plays double brawl. And since Nyria's off to a very slow start, and Trump's actually getting like the potentially infinite armor, you actually can take this to fatigue with double brawl. He's gonna have so much armor, he won't have to dodge combo ever.
How often does that happen though against Druid?
Very rarely, but I mean, if you have to be playing double brawl for it to even have a chance of happening.
Have a chance of happening.
Do you think the reason to Ancient of Lore here is strictly because you assume there's a BGH in Control Warrior's deck?
Yeah, the Dr. Boom actually doesn't really put on much pressure here. Yeah, but I mean, the worst board to play Dr. Boom into is like something involving an armor split than Acolyte. Like an Acolyte could come down and the Dr. Boom is just garbage.
Yeah, because you feed him more card draw potentially. I guess it's one of those things where Doctor Boom is often just a big threat when there's nothing to answer it on the board, but when they've already got some stuff and the possibility of getting removal in the back end, even through execute, that's how boring it is. It could actually just do nothing, and it's a waste of your innervate.
Yeah,
that's
probably
probably
you
why.
want your resilient creatures, like you want to like play your shredders into the warrior first, get them to expend like weapon swings removal on those before you play something like an ancient war or Doctor Boom.
Yeah, makes sense.
So now he's double shredder, which is actually amazing.
So you play a lot of Control Warrior in the league so far. I think you're the player who brought it the most times for what that means.
Yeah, I might be
Trump
tied
is
with
also
Trump.
starting to.
You have had
yeah.
quite a lot of success with it.
Yeah, actually, like your individual games as Control Warrior have been really good. So, do you think double brawl is like standard because Patron's out, or?
If you are targeting Patron, yes, but I cut it for Lotheb and the Shredders just so I can beat Rogue and Freeze Mage. I don't care about the brawl, you know. That's why I bring Control Warriors, so that's my thinking.
Yeah. Trump did not have quite as much luck with it. His Control Warrior last week, I believe, lost to 6-0's Shaman and Zelly's Hunter before taking a win against Firebat's Freeze Mage.
Yeah, and Firebat actually dragged out the game. Like, he actually played it through, which is not something I always expect from him. But I guess the matchup is a little less bad now that you've got Emperor Thorson. I don't know. It's still not that amazing.
If you sneak a Malagos in there, you can do 34 in one turn. It's a great feeling.
So, like, Neria's hand right now, like, it's just so clunky for now. Like, on this exact turn, there's very little you want to do.
Yeah, again, no pressure from Trump, though. I mean, Neria's afraid of something like a... I mean, it still turns 6, but like something like an Alex, and then all of a sudden it turns around, then he's always being afraid of death. But as it stands right now, he's totally fine. He's going to play his creatures out in the way that's most difficult for Trump to efficiently remove, and then his creature, like maybe that Ancient of War is going to stick. You can see it's going to sit on the left side of his hand. Neria doesn't want to play it ever until he's positive there's no execute.
Well, he's also just burning through all these weapons. Like, both Death Spites are down. Neria is still pretty high up on life, and Trump has just hit himself a lot.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of self-inflicted phase damage, but over the long term, it almost doesn't matter. What's really, I think, most threatening is when they do put pressure through minions, and it hasn't really been that strong for Trump, you know, early on.
All right, well, this isn't like the worst brawl, and you do need excuses to use it. Do you consider it here? You can't just Cruel Task and trade.
You could just shield block, see what you find. But then again, I mean, you got 4 hours that could help this. You know, Shield Slam being amazing, Execute also being one of them that you can use. But then you're getting into late game against Druid. If you leave minions on the board, it's going to start being a bit painful.
Yeah.
You could Cruel Task your own Shield Maiden and just trade. And then just get the other Shield Maiden.
But then you only have one activator for Grommash.
Yeah, hype.
Without the Grommash in hand,
in this position?
I'm like one of the people that's always like whenever coaches me on Control Warrior, I'm always just throwing the Cruel Task message out there like, you have no more activators. I'm like, I don't care, I don't even have Grommashes. So I'm always someone that like uses it right away. If I have the Grommash, I'll save. If it's like Handlock or something, you know, you gotta save it. But I'm okay. That looks like a great trade to me. You can attack first too. But I would really like to see the Cruel, because I don't like I like having at least like one removal after a brawl, you know, or like a weapon on something like that.
Yeah, in case something sticks that you need to take care of like right away. Otherwise, you might run into
this is actually,
oh wow! All right, that's
I kind of like it.
Does that get punished?
It's risky.
Yeah,
but it's interesting because I mean, flooding the board against Druid is how you win. I mean, Zoo beats Druid, Mech Mage beats Druid just because you flood the board. So I mean, if you can flood the board as Warrior. Also, Trump's looking at a offensive Alex with like a huge swing.
3 damage.
Huge swing.
That's not that big of a swing anymore. It feels like that would have been a good play.
No, I just meant like when you have creatures on the board and you hit the Alex and then you
snap but Force of Nature is going to clear out every single creature with,
good here.
With a Shredder or... Actually, I think I'd like Shredder over this engine.
I like Shredder too. I wonder what he's thinking with this engine.
Well, this engine actually protects the Doctor Room from dying to axe, but... I mean, how many weapons do you really think you're going to run up against? So, I mean, it's the right play. It's just surprising, really.
Is that game though? How much health does he have? I can't see it right now. So he's going to be on 28.
10 plus 12 plus 14.
He's gonna be on 4 health at the end of the entire sequence, right?
What am I talking about? It's
He's gonna be on 2 health.
it's
Oh my god.
yeah, 14 plus 14.
He's gonna be on.
No, he's
Oh,
dead.
he's dead. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so he has to brawl if he wants to live, or shield block.
Yeah. Yeah, if he
This
plays
is so
Doctor
awkward.
Boom,
No
he
execute
dies.
found yet. Oh man, Trump is in pain. In his face, you can see that
And
he
you
believes his
know, I
opponent's
mean,
got combo.
even though you've seen a force
Yeah.
nature, you still have to play around combo. Is Trump
Trump
wearing?
shirt. Yeah, he's wearing a
So-
Trump shirt. This is a disturbing sight for me.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
confusing me. Well, that Doctor Boom would be lethal for Neri.
Okay. Well, Neri wins. There we go.
I think,
Mathematics.
you guys were naysaying that the Druid was going to win, but yeah, it's pretty clear cut. You got the
Well,
lore.
I don't think we're naysaying. It's just
The
I
start
mean,
was slow.
it's
Yeah.
traditionally a very good matchup for the Druid. So even if it's looking bad in the good matchups, you're going to win a lot of the time.
Yeah, Trump needed the just like a nice Dr. Boomer rag.
Man, they've got to feel pretty
Without it.
happy about that though, because that's a crazy deck to get out of the way first. You win with Druid against Control Warrior straight up. Number one, you get info about the fact that it's Control Warrior, knowing that maybe it'll help you make better decisions for queuing. But
right.
locking the Druid is a really big deal.
Definitely.
And it's just nice to get that first win
Yeah.
on the board, especially after coming back from last week. Actually, both teams lost last week. Value Town lost to Team Archon 6-3, which is also pretty devastating. First point on the board. It's a motivational booster. I like it.
What could matter? Like what if Value Town ends up losing the series? Like what do they really need to maybe get to the possible top 2? Is there even a way for them to get there?
And I think if
Like,
Value
based on
Town
the score?
loses, they cannot make the top 2.
Okay.
And the main relevant positions are the top 2 and the last position. The last position was secured yesterday by Team Celestial, and the first 2 positions are still a bit up for grabs. But Value Town has to win to claim one of those here.
Okay. I think I was thinking that they might be facing off against Archon, unless I'm mistaken, and then that could give them a top 2 finish if they were going to win the next two games, because they're doing Liquid now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, looking at the classes, the difference is already taken a win. Both teams are the same classes. Neria bring in the Druid and Dog bring in the Rogue. Now we've seen 2 types of Rogue, and they're fairly distinctive, at least as decks goes these days. Having I think 5-card difference almost qualifies it as a new deck.
Yeah, and when there's only one rogue archetype, the differences matter a lot more.
Yeah. So what do you think of the differences that we've seen in the tournament? I think Team Archon has played quite a bit of this Assassin's Blade, Goblin Autobarber, very weapon-heavy rogue, while most of the other teams have played just the traditional oil rogue that you see on ladder a lot of the time.
Yeah, the Assassin's Blade is actually almost necessary against Warrior now, because I don't even like playing rogue against Warrior, because the shield block in Patron is you just don't have enough damage. But the Auto Barber, because they only have 1 Fire Wax, and it's not really that great to swing into the Auto Barber. So you get the extra creatures to spam the board early, and then you get the weapon to finish them off. I think that's the main reasoning. Also, the Auto Barber is pretty great against Hunter. Even though it's a bad matchup, it helps even up that matchup a little bit more, because if all of a sudden you hit a backstab and you get a creature on the board, the Hunter doesn't want to clear, especially if they don't have the weapon. They're just behind, and the freezing traps don't work anymore, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, Kibler is on... oh, whoa. Hey, Trump.
How are you doing? I think there's a little bit of an overlay misplay.
Yeah. Well, Kibler is up here. He's playing Hunter, and almost certainly Saviz is playing the Mech Shaman, I think. Especially the Mech Shaman variation that Saviz has played. They're very aggressive, and I think they tend to beat out most Hunters. So you're probably pretty happy right now, hyped with this matchup.
Yeah, I know Savitz usually plays the slower. Last week against me, he played the old Fire Elemental Ragnar's Dr. Boom version.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well, doesn't look like
that
he's playing
is.
that this week.
No.
Change of
You
plans.
see a Hex. I don't know if that's standard. I know Gar started to bring Hex. I haven't talked to him that much about it. I believe Savit's probably, after what happened to him last week against me, where he like drew the Doctor Boom and the Rag in his opening hand, he's like, alright, I don't need these cards. I'm just going to take him out for a Hex.
Well, Saviz knows. Doesn't play out the Mech Warper to get punished by the Glaive Zuka.
Yeah, when you have the coin, you always have the potential just like, Mech Warper coin as Appomatic, so you don't have to take a risk with the...
That Rock Biter was a really big investment. Killing a 2-1 with a Rock Biter feels really dangerous when you could run into, say, a Knife Juggler, in this case.
Yeah.
But it's going to work out for him.
Very nice, though.
Yeah.
Actually, if
Shieldmaster coin and Oil
if Kibler doesn't land a good juggle on the Anoyatron, it might be really bad.
Yeah, because the Glaivezuka could clean up the board.
Yeah, I mean, both players are running decks that run out of steam, and I think the Shaman, if it just has enough life points at the end of that, it's likely to win. Oh no, super aggressive.
Now that's the turn of the tables.
Okay.
But it's
so
going to get
gears
punished, though, in this case.
Yeah, this gets mega punished here. I think you just drop the Leopardome and then attack with the Juggler, play Glaive Zuka, finish off whatever's left.
I think it's pretty reasonable from Savitz. He saw his hand. He's like, I'm never gonna catch up if I don't do something now. I'm never gonna have a better swing back. It's not like the Shaman really has any comeback mechanisms outside of just spamming the board with Mech Warper.
Yeah, Mech Shaman has that problem as well. The thing is, I figured the Cogmaster play with an Oiltron was good enough. Overall.
Why is he attacking first?
Interesting. Okay.
Oh,
Right, well, that's a little bit of a misplay. He did miss a juggle.
He's pretty good against the Shaman's turn 3. Like, he's good against Power Mace, he's good against Spider Tank with this, so I kind of understand it. And I think he sees that Savitz is in making some desperate plays, so he's just going to play it a little safe.
Alright, so is he looking for Huffer here? Or Misha? Misha is a bit on the weird side. I like how there's almost no variation in what you can do in this case.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is a bit
you can knock out the mech no matter what, and just whatever animal companion is fine. You don't really want Huffer. You kind of want
Huffer's
Misha
good.
I mean,
Huffer's alright.
Leok is the worst though. I'd have to say I think.
Not really. Leok is still fine. It challenges the board.
Yeah, it could. It could be weak though. If Savitz gets something like Power Mace, maybe. Oh.
Wow.
Well, I can smell it from 10 miles away.
Do you?
I don't know.
Lava Burst seems maybe a bit more efficient because you still don't know exactly what's in here, right? There might be a creature that's better to hex later on.
But you need that 10 damage for the phase, don't you? Like I get the feeling you
I don't know.
almost.
I don't know. It's about the damage as much as it is about the fact that you don't want to be overloaded next turn.
I think Hex makes more sense because whatever. Yeah. Right? Unless you're afraid of a Shredder. Yeah, that's a good point.
There's the
bow.
Alright,
well, that's a nice pickup from Killer. I mean, if you look at this bow, there's really little that the Shaman can play that's going to counter this. So he's got to find like the Fire Guard Destroyer, he's got to find the Mechanical Yetis.
Fel Reaver.
Yeah, Fel Reaver would be awesome. It's a great card against Hunter.
Nice stuff. Well, there's a lot of damage in that hand, though. All he needs is Doomhammer, and he might just seal the game right then and there. Like, it's gonna take a few turns, but he might be dead, though. By the time he's able to pull it off. Ancestral Skull with Malagos coming out of nowhere. Let it happen.
Yeah, that seems a little bit unlikely.
That's a bit awkward. I guess you're looking for Earthshock to not waste your phase damage on this.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt is not too much of a waste. You have double Lava Burst. You know you'll have to use some of these cards on... Oh my god.
My goodness.
It's the instant look for the Spell Power Totem.
Yeah. There's 19 damage if he rolls high on everything.
Yeah.
Stoneclaw's a bit annoying, because there's still no good way to deal with it at this moment. Unless he finds like an Unleash or a Charge Minion. Wow, this is just so weird.
Everything is bad.
This game has been a really odd Shaman versus Hunter match. Like, I don't think I've ever seen something quite like it. Both players kind of blanking out on...
had really good starts, and both players had extremely bad mid-game draws.
Well, there's still a lead
Did you
from the
hold the
Hunter side on the
Blazica
health.
for the
so-
buff, or do you just play for mana efficiency with the quick shot in your hand?
Yeah, I think the mana efficiency is nice because you're desperate to draw actual decent cards.
Yeah, I like it too. Like, this is a situation if you're playing Druid that you really want to Wrath for one, for example, so you really want to just get that quick shot out.
Oh, come on!
Okay.
This is impossible. Spell damage
Alright, so
totem
Kibler's
with
gonna
double
draw.
crackle to face.
Okay, okay.
Oh, low hit.
4,
Really low hit.
And...
Mid
6,
hits.
okay.
So now Kibler draws the kill command, and then Arcane Shot.
I don't know if you guys
Same
realize,
thing.
but like, Saviz wins with a Rock Biter right now. Doesn't he?
Is he overloaded? I don't know.
It really depends
Oh, yeah,
on whether or
he's
not the
overloaded.
totem
He
goes
is
down. But
overloaded.
he, yeah. Well, he's overloaded enough to win, like to deal 12, and he still can't get the kill, unfortunately. Before Lava Shock. Lava Shock for the unlock the crystal and then win the game.
Lava Shock is actually lethal, but I
It
have
is.
my doubts, man. I have my doubts.
Let it be real. That's too little, too late.
That is lethal.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
And those crackles could have actually been enough to win. If they'd rolled high, that would have been enough.
Yeah, it needed to be an average of 6, which is a bit unlikely, as the average, I believe, is
5.5 in
4.
this case. Well, didn't it go up a little bit because
With
the
spell power, yeah,
Starlight-
5, yeah, 5.5. Alright, some chance of could have won, but terrible draws, not particularly good RNG, is not going to be quite enough.
That
Kibler
was
takes
fun, though.
game!
Yeah, it was a
You're
weird match, but I think it was
Oh,
pretty
boo,
cool.
boo, no.
Boo.
How about
Oh,
this?
Right, Kibler wins. Disaster.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
the Hunter was going to win a game, kind of anyway, but I think that is generally a pretty bad matchup for a Hunter, and I think it's also just a really good matchup for Shaman. I think Shaman doesn't have too many great matchups, but the type of deck that it is, it just it can just blow out any deck if it draws well enough.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the problem with the deck, is even if you get a good start, the moment you run out of steam, you usually lose. This was a case of Savich running out of steam, but still almost making it. So it's all about, it reminds me of the old, the Fishu Mage that you played at BlizzCon, if I recall, or something, where you just try to top deck your fireballs and your false bolts late game when you're out of steam, because you don't have anything else. But Kibler winning with the Hunter, I mean, he didn't accumulate any losses on it, so, good on him. But Hyped, you got a little bit of a scare
Yeah.
there. What if he stays number 1?
Well, it's going to come down to our match against him next week, and it might just be me versus him head-to-head to settle it, like men.
Okay.
Yeah. The
So is
2-point swings.
You know,
That could be
really
actually
nice.
really,
That's
really
value.
tense. That's right.
I think we're still in the stage of the match where you just kind of play what you feel like's good to open up with. So I think we're very likely to see like Hunters, Warriors, that type of stuff here.
yeah. I don't think Liquid's going with that strategy because they opened Druid in the first place, although they could just switch it up, It's a good
think-
way to...
Actually, I think Druid, Hunter, and Warrior are probably the most popular class to open up with. In fact, in the matchup you guys had, I don't know if it was you guys who opened up with Druid, but one of the teams.
Yeah, they opened with Druid.
Yeah.
I guess it's because sometimes you look at your mulligans, like you don't run out. Like actually, Trump opened up a Control Warrior, which is usually something you need information for. Like you need to know if you need Fire Roxas against certain decks, stuff like that. So that's kind of weird. But I remember, I think it was someone on Value Town was talking about how they look at.
Wait,
Was
how
it
is
Kibler?
Trump playing Hunter? Okay, yeah, there we go.
He's okay. But
The
some
magician.
yeah, I think it was Kibler who's talking, or maybe in one of his articles, or maybe when he's doing the casting here, he's talked about how they looked at the opposing team's frequent opening deck and then tried to counterpick that.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense, just to get the initial momentum, and then maybe you have a little bit more flexibility for the counterplay. And if you get, Crip was talking about that earlier, is if you get one win on each player, then suddenly you're a lot less vulnerable to getting targeted. We saw Nihilum just before that. They got locked into Lothar being forced to keep out and back-to-back.
Right.
And they couldn't get the game win that they actually needed to make sure that they were getting a top 2 if they won next week. So it was like, that was a really unfortunate situation for them.
All right, it is going to be a Warlock Mirror. We do see Handlock from Saviz, it seems. I think Trump lately has played slower Warlock decks. I think we've seen Dragon Warlock, Hand Warlock. I don't know if we've seen Zoo for him recently. even though he does play quite a bit of that.
I'm not sure either. I mean, I haven't kept track of every single deck that he plays, but I know he really likes the handlock archetype overall. It's one that I think he's played the most, maybe even over Zoo. So.
And Handlock Mirror is one that a lot of players refer to as a very skillful matchup, and it is very entertaining to watch as well.
But
it boils down to how aggressively. Go ahead.
Yeah, Trump's handlock usually has like 1, maybe 2 zombie chests and a news. He's very defensive with his handlock, I've noticed. So if Savitz is more greedy, it'll really pay off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, never mind
Zoo.
that.
Wait, so is that actually Trump on the Zoo? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So Savitz, let's see. I mean, he's going to make a play.
Tempo Owl?
Not expecting to. I mean,
improve
that would be
the
a huge... How does he know?
No, he's improving his
I
card.
think he's just
count,
bluffing.
his
I think he's just like trying to bluff Zoo himself, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to coin this creeper? It's not really that strong. I'll think about it though. Something like that.
I want to coin tap because I don't
like
have anything to play ever.
Trump just doesn't play the juggler to bluff handlock.
Night Juggler's going to be countered by the Owl pretty well here.
Night Juggler's probably the best card against handlock. It lets you go aggressive, and maybe if you want to go on the ignore Molten's plan, it's the best card to have.
Mm-hmm. Tapping already. It's the pretty slow variation of the Zoolock. I think this kind of favors the Handlock considerably, though.
Yeah, but if the handlock plays too defensively, he can get grinded out by the Zoolock.
Yeah, and this is one of the, I guess, the weaknesses of playing handlock defensively. It's one of those decks that at some point you have to turn the offensive gears on, and that's going to vary wildly on your deck building. Like, you can tweak the deck to be a little bit more bursty, I guess, or play it in a more aggressive manner. And I think that was one of the pitfalls of it a long time ago, where you had, like, when handlock was pretty much the dominant deck, you could tell very easily which players were super conservative and which weren't.
What do you think about double abusive and egg face there? You push for a lot of damage, and if you get hellfired, you get even 3 more damage, and you get the 4/4 next turn.
I like that double abusive power, though. I mean, that kills a giant on its own.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
This is
have
getting
to see,
a bit
like...
wonky.
Well, I think Trump's just going to continue tapping here.
Yeah, I don't think you can go for the ignore Molten's plan because you have the boom, and you really wanna kind of bait them into. Actually, yeah, you want to kind of threaten that you're gonna like maybe ignore Molten's, get Savitz to play super defensively, and then you drop the boom on 7, and then all of a sudden that's how you lose this handlock.
Also, I don't believe the Voidwalker has much of a purpose here. You still get cleared out by everything. Just pushing for 1 extra damage doesn't really mean much. While in some of the cases later on, it can stop 8 damage.
Yeah, he's just going to need to play it before he plays Void Caller, though. If he wants the Mal'Ganis, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want that.
Yeah, it's a really big deal, though, that Savitz has the double Moltens already. Like, that's one of the ways that I think he's going to be able to come back. Because even though there's a little bit of mind game going on from Trump's side, Savitz having that opportunity, even if Trump decides to ignore the Moltens, then that's going to punish him.
Actually, I kind of like Coin Emperor.
Yeah,
Hellfire.
I think he really wants to do it, just doing some math to make sure he doesn't die. He has no heal bot, though, which makes it a little scary.
Yeah, but next turn, if he can get into Molten range with the Hellfire, he can Hellfire. If the Moltens are free, Molten, and Argus.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's like unbeatable, almost.
Yeah, will he be able to flip the Argus, though? So it's 3. Plus a 3 from the Hellfire. Okay, yeah, I guess he can.
And then we're going to see double Soulfire from Trump because he can.
And then when you see a little play Emperor,
Trump,
you're just like,
Trump
he can
right
do
now.
anything.
Trump right now can get Savitz to 4 life.
Yeah, between all the damage buffs that he's got, he can do that. But the question is, how do you close the game if a heal bot pops down?
Yeah, with no death
after that point, yeah,
it's really hard to finish him off. But this is just the worst feeling when they play Emperor and you know that they're just going to get, the 10 discounted cards. They're going to be able to play them all. It's like they can do anything. They can Shadow Flame, they can heal, they can they can just Arcane Golem combo me this turn.
This could work, couldn't it? You can actually pull off the...
Savitz needed to be 1 life lower for this to work.
Lower than he is, yeah.
Good on Trump, counting that out perfectly.
I'm sure he did.
And if Saviz does nothing, would he die? I believe so. Yeah. Trump has exact lethal if Saviz does nothing. Like if Saviz does like a Dr. Boom play, he will die.
Yeah, I can't really fit anything in with a Lotheb, or else that'd be pretty solid.
I wonder.
Hmm.
Lotheb's really great if you want to hold AoE one more turn, because, you know, kind of baits them. They can't play creature spells, so they'll play creatures, and they don't
Yeah,
really
you
want to trade
just-
to the Lotheb, so then you just
Right.
get them with the AoE.
This is such a weird turn for Savich, though. Because there's really no clear line of play that's going to put you far ahead enough on board that you're going to be able to contest everything. The only play that you really have is like Hellfire double Molten, and you hope they
Yeah.
stick so that you can win right away. Because then they have to make trades because they're so low on health. So unless you die right away, you win the game.
Okay, well, you don't die right away, so this might work. You don't die right away yet, I think is
Yeah,
is the,
right.
yeah.
Keyword.
And still not dead. Look at that.
Yeah, and he has a Lotheb Argus follow-up, which is really strong. Most dudes only play 0 to 1 Owl now, so you won't even have to worry about that.
So does
The
Trump
thing
have
is-
to play super defensively here? Like, does he have to try to play all the taunts, or does he like how often does he trade with everything, and how does that come about?
Yeah, this is a really big decision by Trump. Does he play defensively? If he plays defensively, just taunting up a whole bunch, he will die to the other Hellfire. If he kills one Molten, then it's kind of hard to seal out the game because he uses so much burst.
Exactly.
And really tough.
Yeah, I don't like this. I wouldn't like to be in the spot that Trump's in right now. It's so difficult to really pick a line of play that I'm comfortable with. There's really nothing.
Yeah, probably just Void Caller and then taunt up the O.
Yeah, that'd be sick, right? Like, just help a bit, find a bit more. So he's
Okay,
still
okay,
gonna.
no, I
nerf.
like this. He has a ton of demons on board. He's one turn off Mal'Ganis, so that would... But maybe he's
I
thinking
believe
about
Saviz is
later.
one off lethal.
Yeah, he's gonna be exactly one off lethal. You're right.
Yeah.
This is a bit unfortunate. And could Trump find an owl?
So
And
many
win with it?
possibilities.
No, it wouldn't be enough because you still
No.
have to go through the. But he'd
Yeah,
be
I
on
think
5 health, so I think it's fine.
Argus Hellfire, I think, is the play, though.
Mhm.
Attack, and then Hellfire, and then Argus.
You really don't die too much that I can think of.
No, not at all.
I guess maybe a buff. So wait, Abusive Sergeant. Those have already been played. So we'd have to find a way to make this M deal 3 damage and
Yeah,
then Owl
it'd
and
be
then
Abusive
Doomguard.
Owl Doomguard, that's right.
Oh my god. This
Another
could have been
powerful-
useful, last turn.
Yeah. And he's not able to tap here.
Oh,
You can get your opponent to 1. Dr. Boom, Power
yeah,
Boom.
Boombot. I was gonna say, what if you had 9 mana and double PO'd the Boombots and then suddenly
Oh,
that
that would
works?
be amazing.
Oh, that'd be the most stellar lethal.
Yeah, it would. But as it stands, I think Trump is out of the game. He's not really able to do anything. Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, good effort. Certainly well calculated by Trump at a lot of the stages there, but still not quite enough to get through the defensive tools of Safiz's handlock.
Locks on the
Yeah.
zoo. I guess. Would you say you're happier to lock down a zoo than a handlock very often because there's less or more good or bad matchups in the metagame right now? Like, which of the decks are you happier to lock down early?
Well, we were talking. I don't know who it was that we were talking to yesterday, but they were talking about the Warlock results. They were saying that so far Handlock has been much more inconsistent than the Zoolock. So, based on anecdotal evidence, it seems like the Handlock maybe is better off. But I don't think we saw Show's Patron Warrior yet. So Patron Warrior, I think, has a really nice matchup against the Zoolock. Yeah, I think things are looking really well for Team Liquid right now.
Yeah, on Value Town side, Dog. Like when you're playing Freeze Mage and the Mech Shaman, you're really sad to see the Handlock get locked out, for example. That's like a great matchup gone.
Yeah.
And now if you're the Freeze Mage, Dog's Freeze Mage is actually looking really bad against their lineup. He's going to have to struggle to find one. Hopefully that's a Face Hunter from Show, but I know Show likes Hybrid a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Well, we
I'm
might
really
see.
interested to see Nairi as mage, though. It could be something crazy again.
I really hope we get to see a control mage because no one besides him brought it, and even his was a weird twist on. Well, at least an interesting twist on it because it was more like it mixed echo with control, and I don't know how much control mage runs echo systematically as a staple.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could be a mech mage with Blingtron. I did hear that was pretty popular recently.
It's a great deck. It's a
Yeah,
great deck.
do you play Harrison Jones by chance? We were talking about that while you were playing.
Occasionally, but not this week. I just think
Okay.
Fel Reaver is a little too risky. I don't think there's any reason to take a risk on Fel Reaver when you could play like Lotheb and Blingtron, and Sky Golem is pretty good this week. I do play Fel Reaver. If I'm playing Fel Reaver, I'm playing those three, 2 Fel Reavers, and a Leroy. Then I'll play Fel Reaver. But I think
So
Fel
you're
Reaver's
stacking everything on
yeah.
top. Okay.
Mhm.
That's a pretty crazy 5-drop curve, though.
Oh, that's good.
All right. Now with Trump potentially on the lockout here, you probably do want to throw out Dog, but with the mage so bad against the remains. Oh wow, you do throw out Trump again. This is a really decisive game, and I think it favors the Shaman quite a bit. If the Shaman gets a decent draw and he doesn't run up against Fiery War Axe, it just does way too much stuff.
Yeah, I know you're trying to
Fire
alone
is
is enough
huge.
to kill you.
Both
One
players.
interesting thing you could do is if you're Trump, you can keep something like if you keep like you have like something like Armor Smith, which you wouldn't normally keep without like say a Cruel. But say you keep the Armor Smith, then Savitz automatically thinks you have a Fiery War Axe, and then he'll play like a Noyatron first rather than a Mech Warper. I don't know if you saw my game against Asylum Storm, but I kept like 2 kind of bad cards against his Mech Shaman, and then he had the option to just win if he played Mech Warper first, but he's really afraid of Fiery, so played a Noyatron and he lost that game.
Mm-hmm. That is pretty
That's
interesting.
a pretty cool mind games, actually. It's just like you're telegraphing a card that you just don't have.
Yeah, but I mean,
since
anytime you
you
play a
pretend
mech
like you
deck,
can
you're-
defend it, right? So
Yeah, usually have the option when you're playing against a warrior. You're like, well, I could play the Noatron, which is bad, or I can just go for the Mech Warper Snow Chug or something like that first.
Well, this is also an interesting case where both players have quite a lot of information about what's going on, as they just saw these games roll out already. There's the Anoyatron. Not much working from Trump's side. I think he's going to have to mulligan all 3 cards, and that's going to, as we talked about the mind games here, allow Safiz to take a pretty aggressive opener.
Yeah, so the Shield Slam kills only the Zap-O-Matic pretty much. I mean, you don't really want to Shield Slam a Cogmaster, that's too slow. So he's probably going to toss it. Oh, and there's the Mech Warper and the Note. So now Savitz like can very easily play on Fiery. Just like wait 1 turn, taunt immediately.
oh wow, double Noyotron opener. So the weapons that Trump gets aren't even going to do anything. He still wants a little bit more burst out of those mechs, though.
YOLO Mech
Something
Warper.
like a Power
YOLO
Mace.
Mech Warper. YOLO Mech Warper.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's not the Shield Slam that he kept. So yeah, we could see a Yellow Mech Warper. But at the same time, Savitz he's like, do I really need just 2 extra damage? Not really, because he's going to go Mech Warper coin a Noatron and
Well,
then into a Noatron.
It's 3 extra damage, and you push more tempo. Because you get the Noyatron 1 turn earlier.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, like if Trump kept a single card and Savitz noted that, he would not play it. But since he tossed everything, Savitz is thinking about it. I think it's high risk, low reward, though.
Yeah,
I think
you're
it's
right.
almost too risky on this specific end because it's like there's a 55% chance when you throw your entire hand that you get a Fire War Axe if that's what you're looking for. So it's usually more risky than not. Oh well, pretty good opener here from Savitz, and he gets the curve somewhat nicely because on turn 3 he can play the Totem plus the Noyotron and then Fireguard Destroyer on the back end. And Trump, if he doesn't have a shield block, armor up by then.
Oh no, he can kill the Mech Warper here.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, those Noatrons are actually, like, they were actually looking kind of useless, just like 1 damage guys, but if they're protecting the Fire Grab, that'll be insane.
Alright.
Oh wow,
Oh, perfect.
that's flawless. Oh, let's see what Savitz does with this.
Tempo
'Cause all
Earthshock?
it takes is like
Tempo
a ball.
Earthshock? No Tempo Earthshock?
Oh my god, Crip.
Oh, this always feels bad.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be alright. Trump is not holding Execute. He's not holding any, like, granular 1 damage effects.
Yeah, I think Savic, even though he had a really good start, might not be able to protect it well enough to make it snowball. Because all it takes from Trump is like a brawl, and your game's out. You can't really afford to play around it, unfortunately. But the AoE from Death's Bite alone is enough to give him a bit more tools. So
I wonder.
it's kind of an all-in already.
Saviz might be thinking if he plays the Fire Guard, it will die to execute. But I mean, you just
Yeah,
gotta
there's no
think
choice to
it's
play
like-
around it here. Oh, did Savic misclick? That was a... Oh, I don't know. He like swung his head.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't think he's gonna get punished for it here. Maybe he thought of something at the last second that could punish him.
Probably execute. Oh no, he was just upset with the 4 roll on the Fire Guard Destroyer, I
Oh.
believe.
Oh, is that the low? It's 3 to 7.
It's 4
Yeah,
to
it's
7.
it's 4 to 7. You can
Okay,
get
so he's
plus 1
probably
attack.
expecting a
Or...
Belcher to come out here.
You never played that card? It's a pretty good card, man.
Oh, it's just
You
all
might-
7 against me when I don't have
Oh,
one.
I
It's
see.
6.
It's always a BGH target when I play it.
That's Sweet's happy you didn't see the Belcher come down.
Alright. Well, Trump is able to clear that board unless a heal totem or taunt totem pops up. Oh,
Well,
There
there,
we go.
it is. I was gonna
always
say
lucky.
it's an easy override of the weapon if that doesn't happen. Well, so I guess Stoneclaw was good too. So it's like a 50-50 to really get a decent decent outcome. But this Emperor is gonna give him a bit of reach, but he's just dead. So we have 5 damage on the board. Now he's got 8. He's a little short, but all it takes is like
Spell
a
damage total does
crackle, spell power. Actually, a mech, a cheap mech would also do it because
Both
plus
are
2
huge.
damage.
Yeah, that was basically almost every single card in the deck.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I looked at it.
Wow, he didn't go for it. Didn't go for lethal? There's a 1 in 3 lethal.
It's hard for a warrior to do
What?
anything when you loath up.
How do you have 1 in 3 lethal?
Totem.
Oh, okay. So attempting to get the roll, and maybe
Loath
not
up
getting it.
almost
I
always
guess. Yeah.
connects. Or in this case, it's going to protect the Fire Guard and the Cogmaster.
Alright.
Because I think the only way you lose in this case is if the opponent has like Shield Maiden, Shield Slam, trays into Loatheb with Emperor. Like you're pretty screwed at that point if you try to go for the lethal and it doesn't work out.
Well, I mean,
Maybe that's what he was
actually-
thinking, right? I'm not sure.
Actually, Trump can clear with the execute if he wants. Oh no, the Gromash is probably the best clear. The
Yeah.
Emperor Thorsten into the 4/6, Death Spite into the 1/2, and Gromash into the 5/5.
Yep.
It's,
But
it's
playing-
almost
playing-
possible
playing
to
it
the warrior to
first
ever recover
is-
when you loath up.
Playing it first seems like a little bit of a misplay. Oh no, that's not it.
That's not the trade.
Wait, what?
What?
Okay, so the
What? Okay, so he's gonna use the extra attack to kill.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's the same thing.
It's the same
Yeah, that's
thing.
what I-
Okay,
that's
yeah,
what I
it's
thought.
the exact same math, but he's dead now, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
now he's dead. Savias gets the damage he needed.
Alright, finally, Savis, you get the win with the Shaman. That's pretty good.
And
Oh, man,
Trump
Trump's
again
Control
really
Warrior.
struggling with Control Warrior just as he had last week.
Yeah, it's not doing what he wants it to do.
Now the controlling is not happening.
Yeah,
It's
he's
mostly
getting
being
controlled.
Controlled. He's getting controlled by aggressive decks.
The controlled warrior, then it is. So Team Liquid is down to 2 players left, which means they've got a little bit less room to maneuver, I guess, as far as deck picking. Which means like it very often happens that one team gets a huge lead early, and then the other one equalizes as a result of being able to get sometimes better
Yeah.
matchups.
Better matchups, more pressure to push for the benching a player. But
Right.
the thing is, right now that Sho is still in it, but Sho has like the power decks. He's got the Patron Warrior.
Yeah, you
Neria's
can't
last
really
deck
counterpick
is Freeze Mage. Like all the decks that are left on Liquid side are just really high end. Like they are the premium decks. And now with actually Trump benched, it's pretty difficult for Valleytown to come back. In most situations, normally it would be a pretty easy thing to do.
Yeah, and if you're relying
like
on
it-
Zoo and Warrior to carry you, it's not happening.
Yeah, like shows decks. You can't really counterpick those. So it's just Nigeria's Mage, which they don't know for sure it's freeze. I think it's freeze, but I'll be excited to see something new.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're pretty comfortable leaving show for last. Although we did see that other week where they left him like 6 tries with his Patron, and he just kept getting like so unlucky every game, and he couldn't close it out.
Well, if it is Freeze Mage, Dog's like both of Dog's decks suck, right?
I mean, Dog, the mirror.
Yeah, mirror match is fine. Dog's a pretty experienced Freeze Mage player, but so is Naria.
Yeah,
I think Naria
so
actually
it's
might be more experienced.
more
experienced.
experienced. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's funny because Naria, Dog, and yourself are the 3 players that I kind of think about as Freeze Mage players most of the time when it comes to the level of experience
Yeah,
that they have.
all
So
three
it's
of us
going to
play
be
Freeze
kind of
Mage in
nice to
Rogue.
have you here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's at least the memorable one. You always remember the players like Hyped who play Freeze Mage when nobody else plays Freeze Mage.
right. And then they just try to make it work so much. But it's cool because if there's any subtlety to the matchup that we won't pick up on, you'll be there to enlighten us. So turn 1, you just tell us, all right, so by turn 6, this and this needs to have happened. Otherwise, you lost. I think Freeze Mage versus Freeze Mage is a little volatile sometimes, depending on who gets the initial wave of burn, sort of, and the Emperor Thorson, especially since the advent of BRM.
Emperor's huge. You get to get a Malagos mixed in there.
I think the very bad situation that has developed for Value Town really comes from the decision to play Trump there. I don't think there was much of a decision, like much of a reason to play out the Control Warrior, was there?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
I'm not sure their totals. I
good
know they
against-
don't do.
It's good against half the decks, right? It's good against the Hunter and the Mage, probably.
This is the nice thing though about we have Caldi on our team. He just takes care of our picks. He'll come in with a strategy. He'll work something out. He'll give us like 1 or 2 choices, and we just don't have to think about it at all. We just have to worry about our games. There's no stress about picking. It's just the best way to do it, I think.
Getting an analyst is
now
probably
everyone
the best.
knows.
Yeah, get an analyst, win the game. I think
There you go.
Nihilum at this point is like the only team that doesn't have one, I think. And I'm wondering if they will or not pick one
They
up.
don't
I
need
mean,
a
they seem to
strategy.
be doing pretty well, so.
You open with Life Coach with Grim Patron, you end with RDU
Right.
with like Pally, right? That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it is going to be Dog on Mage, Show on Hunter. Do you guys expect anything besides Freeze Mage from Dog?
I don't, but I might get
I
surprised.
do not.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him bring Miracle Rogue to tournaments when it wasn't good though. I remember he's like trying out a concealed deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it'll be freeze. But it'll be interesting to see what tech options he does. Like, does he do the 1 heal bot, 2 heal bot, Kona Cold, Malagos, stuff like that? Against a Hunter, though, against Show, you're not really expecting Face Hunter. You're just expecting Hybrid Hunter. So you just want the basic Freeze Mage deck with the two Blizzards probably. And then heal bot versus Kona Cold they're pretty even against Hybrid Hunter.
I don't think I've ever seen double heal bot in a Freeze Mage.
I think Tice does it.
Tice played it, I think.
But he was against someone that the team I think they're against like Force and Boys or something. They're expecting like a lot of aggro, something like that.
I
Shocky,
see.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. One card I haven't really seen too much of, and it puzzles me a little bit because we literally see Freeze Mage or some type of Mage and Hunter in every single team match. Why do you think Kazan Mystic doesn't make any showing at all in these matches?
Well, what deck would you put it in? It's like
In Conquest, it's too polarized, maybe.
yeah, I'm not a fan of the card that much.
Well, that's not Freeze Mage.
Yeah, doesn't look like
Actually,
it.
I have seen these Temple Mages run Kazan, and I guess it's to steal their secrets back too. It's like one of the justifications.
Okay.
It's like not only do we steal secrets, but if someone plays Kazan against us, we also have to steal it back. I don't like it though, and I think a lot of the players, I think like the better a player is, the less they want to take a chance on like a risky card like that. They just want to like let it come down to skill rather than do I get the Kazan when he gets the secret.
Yeah, it's a risky tech because it barely does something, and it's much worse than Harrison when they don't have a weapon. Like you look at Harrison on an empty board, let's say he played for tempo, and you're gonna get a little bit more mileage out of it than Kazan will give you. So.
All right. Well, both players playing very quickly here.
Wow, this is such an insane Flame Waker.
Is it?
It's going to be insane at some point, unless we get like a double Misha maybe.
I just feel like the coin might get some value from the Flame Waker, but the Arcane Missiles is not. If we don't draw any more spells, it might just be whatever. Oh, but that's pretty nice. Okay,
It's a pretty decent outcome.
Yeah,
So
this
do you
seems
go
like
for Sorcerer Apprentice, Coin,
Yeah.
Frostbolt, and then
No.
Flamewaker Arcane, or
There's actually
I
a ton of options here. You can actually just hit the
Arcane Missiles.
They could do anything because it's really interesting to see some players like some players really like saving Flamewick or Coin a lot longer than others.
Mhm.
So he could have even done something like hit the worm into the abusive and hit the frostbolt and just pass, and then
Wow.
done like a huge turn on turn. Oh, what a god!
But now if it's explosive, you
And
risk
it's
losing.
not.
Yeah, this
Easy
is,
game.
All right, dog's a god. Dog is a god.
Reminds me of when Firebat played
Backwards.
Zoo. Yeah, Dog the God.
Here comes Huffer. Well, that's not bad. It's still dead, but yeah,
Super weak to flame cannon. Doesn't have it, but frostbolt's good enough.
No. Okay.
Oh, okay. You save the flame cannon here ever? No, it's too risky.
Yeah.
Well, it I guess it
Well,
would.
if-
Wow,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
perfect
yeah.
RNG. Perfect RNG for Flame Cannon.
He could have hit it, but I mean, there's nothing else to save it for.
Oh my god.
Freezing
we,
quick
we,
shot.
we
I mean,
talk
maybe-
about the Tempo Mage, how when it wins, it really, really, really wins. This is
Yeah.
what we're talking about, guys. This match.
Just like, all right, yeah. Just gonna defend stuff.
This poor.
So show his only chance is like a knife juggler pick up on the next turn for the unleash, and even that it's looking really bad.
I don't even know what to say to show right now. This Flame Waker's like, okay, I'm gonna snipe this guy, that guy. Arcane missiles killing everything.
Well, it could have been a bit of a slip up, like if the Flamewaker didn't kill Leok and he went face, and then he played the gnome, and then there was like
The Unleash, yeah.
buffed Unleash Juggler. Yeah, maybe. Something.
This is just
Misplays
the
could have
worst
made this
feeling on
fun.
ladder when they're ahead and they have the flamework on board. Anything you play, you're like, okay, cool, dude, you got spells, and you're just gonna shoot all my stuff. Congrats. And then we might see like this is if I was to show right here, I'd give up a fat cop. This is like how I feel.
Yeah.
Well, he can kill the Flamewaker and a Sorcerer's Apprentice with the quick shot Unleash play. It's just if you make the quick shot Unleash play, how do you win the game overall?
I think we're already at the point where how do you win the game overall?
Okay, well if you clean up and you play Belcher, that's like one way to do it, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Top deck a Belcher and a Belcher, something like that.
I mean,
Belcher's
Mad
actually
Scientist
making a
is
comeback.
dead, right? He doesn't
You
run
stop-
3 secrets,
You
does he?
stop the bleed a little bit. You get 5 damage off the board. You get a spell off the board. I think you have to make that play. You have to make the quick shot Unleash play. I guess not. Okay. Freeze.
I mean, at this point, you're asking yourself, what other spell does this guy have? I know that a Mana Worm's in his hand. What's the other card? If it's a spell, then so be it. Flamewaker will give another round of triggers.
Well, this works out pretty well if Sho is running a 3rd trap and that 3rd trap is explosive.
Right. I think that's what he's hoping for. If he's running a 3rd trap, that's what I was asking while we were talking about the play. Is there a 3rd trap? And if there is, then maybe that'll be the difference.
I think a 3rd trap is fairly uncommon, though.
I mean, we've seen a mix of Snake and other similar cards, so it really depends on the player. But the thing is, once you know there's a Snake trap, the entire match is thrown off by that. Wow, this is I mean on 6 not working out. That's a first.
Yeah, but Sho isn't dead. I mean, Dog doesn't have much left right now. He's got 2 frozen creatures that don't impact much of anything. And
I don't think
2
Shaman
cards
plays
that...
explosive, or else he'd go for that right now.
Would you go for that? Like, if you know this would give you explosive, is it really still an obvious play?
I think so, because then again you have one more chance to Knife Juggler, Unleash, turn it around, then play the Savannah the following turn. But it looks like no explosive in the deck unless he would have gone like hit into the Astro Trick or something.
Okay. Alright, well, no lethal option there.
So it was explosive. Okay,
Yeah.
really big deal.
Oh.
If it had gone off the way
crazy.
you wanted earlier.
Oh!
My lord, is this a web spinner or?
That was a really costly mana word. It prevented him from playing the Melord. But still not.
Yeah, you only
Not
for
much of an
one
impact there.
power. I don't know if I would have gone for that. I mean, it does, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, Unleash Quick Shot does clear. Barely.
The thing is, does this hunter run any heal? And my general answer to that is probably not. In which case he's dead. Actually, he's even deader now that Finicky Cloakfield and Malorn will be played.
Yeah, but what about the Deadly Shot tech?
Let it be true. I want to see it. I want to see it right now.
No, I think if you play High Main, there's some chance that you're playing Houndmaster. So a Houndmaster might deny the lethal here from the spare part.
Oh, yes, I love this animation too, like the gallop when he swings face.
Yeah.
Really hope Sho doesn't concede.
I like the face hit much more than killing the 1/1.
Yeah, because you're putting him on a clock no matter what. Even with Houndmaster, you'd be putting him on a 2-turn clock. Oh man. Okay. I guess with 1 Frostbolt and 2 Fireballs left, he's not too worried. Well, that's game. No Houndmaster is getting picked up by Sho.
Alright, well, a very interesting Mage deck. Very, very lucky draw does make it happen. I think this is basically the only thing that really could go Value Town's way, as they had like no good matchups with Trump locked out of playing. They really needed a win, and nothing looked like it would work. But, well, sometimes Tempo Mage always finds a way.
Yeah, and getting a lot of free information about that hunter too. 2 freezing, 1 explosive, I think.
Yeah, that's basically all the traps that he plays. Obviously, like I doubt he's gonna be playing 4 of them.
Nobody
it makes
plays
like
4 traps
no
ever.
sense. It's
Yeah.
kind of gone from. It's like the oldest possible deck list used to run 4 of them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what that information is gonna do. All you know is like there's a high main. It's hybrid probably. So you know it's a hybrid deck. You know it's got specific traps.
Actually, wait, did we see any hybrid specific things? That could have just been mid range, right? We saw
Wolf
one
Rider came out,
usage.
didn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
was
Wolf
there?
Rider. Yeah.
Did they?
It was
Yeah.
the last card drawn.
Oh. Okay.
Alright, well, if Nerea is playing a weird Mage deck, he kind of should play it here, because if Sho gets locked out and Nerea is stuck on a weird Mage, Valuetams can suddenly make a considerable comeback.
Yeah, because they'll have information about what's in there. And I think that type of deck, Control Mage, for instance, and Echo Mage are 2 types of mages that if you know what they are, you can play around them much more easily, to the point where you can almost make them obsolete. And that's a bit frustrating when you're on the receiving end of it.
So, what do? Do you play Mr. Trump again? You probably know you're playing against some kind of weird Mage. I think Control Warrior just does well against most weird mages. You have a good matchup. Good-ish matchup
I'd probably take that.
I don't know, Duplicate's really strong against Warrior, and it'll like affect your... And it could be Mech Mage as well, in which case you need a Fireworks, whereas Kibler's Shaman doesn't really care what kind of mage it is. It's the same game plan no matter what, right?
Okay.
Yeah, he just goes through with whatever he wants to do initially, and if it works out and the deck consistently draws, well, I mean, you're going to be fine. It's one of those decks that there's very little room to maneuver, and you just do whatever the draws give you.
Yeah, you're right. Kibler probably playing Mech Shaman. Doesn't necessarily have good matchups all the way through, but if they're bad, they're not bad by much. They're still pretty even.
Yeah, and if Kibler goes Hunter Shaman, it's going to be another, like, I guess most of the weeks he's brought exactly those 2 decks. He's brought Hunter every week as far as I know, and Hunter Shaman was for most of the weeks the lineup that he had. So he obviously knows the decks inside out. I wonder if they did any text to it. What's up?
Some people on ladder have been having a lot of success lately with a Dragon Shaman, and I mean, if Kibler's heard about that, he would be the first to jump on it. I believe it's actually Grindstone's back, and he came up with the first Dragon Shaman recently, and Just Saying's been playing a lot.
So 3 months after BRM, dragons are becoming a thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised to see Trump's Warlock deck. I guess Zoo also has the same game plan all the way through, but it doesn't necessarily have good matchups at all against the remaining decks. It actually has bad matchups against every single remaining deck on Team Liquid. Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Against Patron, against the Hunter, and that might actually be the weak link. So queuing up into this is maybe they're trying to brute force it in some way.
Maybe they're hoping it's like a tempo mage, and
You know what?
maybe a Zulok can take a tempo mage.
They're
That's a good
saving
point, yeah.
Kibler. They're saving Kibler. They say, if we can push through with the Zoo, then so be it, Kibler. You will play, but if you don't have to, you're staying safe.
All right,
Well,
looks like it's
looks like
freeze
a
for
freeze
sure.
mage. Yeah.
Yeah, none of the control variants play Blood Mage.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was bad news in any way for the Zulok, so I mean, it's still whatever at this point. I guess it's
like you
good that you're
mentioned,
going
could win
first.
Mage.
Yeah.
Oh, that hand is not very exciting. The Coin Scientist.
That's fine.
Head on board against Zoo on turn 1. It's
Yeah.
not a good feeling.
It is if you're the mage.
Yeah. Even as the follow-up, oh my god, the Acolyte. Oh, okay. Actually,
Yeah,
it's-
the Acolyte
it's
pad
one
on
more
top.
turn.
Hmm. Do you play the
I play
Blood
the
Mage
Blood
here?
Mage.
Yeah,
That's right.
probably. I'd say so.
He doesn't have to trade though, but I like Blood Mage better than Ping here because you're never really benefiting from the spell damage against Zoo unless it's like the turn 7, 8, 9 burst to the face. Other than that, you just want to cycle ASAP. You're not really Blood Mage flame striking them ever, you know. Maybe a
Yeah.
Blood
Yeah.
Mage Cone of Cold, but we see
Yeah,
the
Cone of Cold
see the
is
heal
very
bot, so he
tech
probably
hard.
doesn't play the Cone of Cold. Yeah, this is the matchup. This is what you tech Cone of Cold for against though is Zoo. We saw that game versus Tice where he just like locked down Elise's board for 20 turns in a row.
Yeah, where it looked like he was losing, but it's still, I mean, it was
Didn't
full,
matter, yeah.
full control.
Oh wow, it's gonna be a weird mage. It seems there's a duplicate there. He got 2 blood mages, and it seems like Neria's just gonna bring us a
Okay,
surprise, and he's
Neria's
smiling
smirking
about it.
Okay,
It's
well,
Alright.
almost no control mages play Blood Mage, but maybe duplicate for just a little bit more cycle. It's actually pretty useful. I mean, you could duplicate against Patron, you could duplicate one of your big guys, and they don't have enough executes, or in this case, you could just duplicate one of your second
Whoa.
guys and cycle faster.
4 boys.
And then the Acolyte can keep drawing. No. There was a scenario you could actually keep drawing with the Acolyte if the health kept moving back and forth.
Oh yeah, if it hit for 2, you could have drawn 3 cards, right? No, you couldn't. It'd be dead. No. How would
No,
you
there was a
cards?
scenario where it could actually go in negative health and you could keep drawing. I forget exactly the circumstances, but there's like the way
Yeah,
Hearthstone is
I've seen
coded
that
is completely
before.
miserable.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 fireballs, but your opponent's at 30. That sucks.
Yeah. So I think it is just a freeze mage. Maybe he cut one ice block. You don't really need the second ice block against many matchups these days, so stick to duplicate.
And a 3/6 juggler, that was a pretty good deal. Oh, hello. That's pretty useful.
Actually, that's like, I mean, Lotheb's great, but this is like the worst Lotheb ever. I think he'll
Yeah.
still.
You
Oh,
have
next
to play
turn
the
probably,
Argus.
right?
You have to play the
Yeah.
Argus, or if you know that there's just a lot of early game left in the deck, you might consider tapping.
So many.
Yeah, the worst thing about this Loth, yeah, you definitely don't want Lotheb here because you know he
Yeah,
actually has a play. Sometimes you know a freeze mage won't actually have a play if you Lotheb Little's past the back, but he knows he has the 2 blood mages in worst case scenario, which is a pretty decent play.
I mean, if you go Defender anyway, you're preventing the Blizzard with Lotheb on the following turn. So it's still, like, just knowing the way the deck usually comes out is enough to make the call to keep Lotheb anyway.
Also,
Trump
Trump
actually-
might be fishing for like silences and void callers and eggs. Like these are just so powerful cards in this matchup.
Almost out of time.
Yeah, Hype's a big fan of play what you got. So I think for the most part,
I was looking at the Lotheb, it would be 1 off lethal if we got a power overwhelming next turn. It's a lot of damage, because you know the ice block's not going to go up this turn.
yeah.
That's like one thing about the Lotheb.
And then they have to clear the board so they can't play Ice Block. It's. I just hope that Neria's deck doesn't just blow out completely. All right.
Setting up for a nice blizzard.
I don't... Okay, I mean, he has 2 freezes, but I might have gone for the Arcane Intellect there, because if Frost Nova gets better and better over time, and especially with the... You haven't seen Lotheb yet, you kind of want to hold on to it for Lotheb. So when you see like a board like this that isn't quite that... It's only going to get bigger, you know? You might be tempted to play that Intellect, but it looks like he definitely wants to Blizzard next turn. And with the Arcane Intellect and the Blood Mage draw, he feels pretty confident he'll find the next freeze pretty quickly.
But suddenly it seems like Lotheb is a pretty good play here.
Yeah, that's the reason. I think you could keep it in the immediate sense as a Warlock player. It feels like that's when you want to play, just before you know Blizzard's coming up, Flame Strike turns are coming up. Like you really want to put it. Ideally, you want to put it the same turn. I guess where you're about to get lethal or
Oh,
your board might get cleared.
Wow. Yeah, I'm really surprised he didn't go for it. So he's holding it for like those later turns, I guess. He wants a bigger board to protect, but it's a pretty good one when you know an A was coming out.
Yeah,
I feel
fine,
like if you played Lothab, the game was almost on lock.
Yeah, it would have been really hard for Nairi to recover, but with the heal bite, it would have been probably possible.
So the thing is, the spell damage on that Blood Mage is gonna clear this. What? Okay, so he's keeping a 3-1?
No,
Is
he's
that
not.
what he wants?
It's just gonna die to the.
It's just gonna die to Blood Mage. That I'm really confused right now.
I think you Blizzard here and save the Frost Nova for you. Yeah, until you have a stronger play to develop. You might actually get into this weird situation where he has sticks 2 Blood Mage. He's gonna stick 2 Blood Mages.
I don't understand why Trump made those series of plays though.
Well, I understood not playing the Lothab that one turn that I kind of wanted to, but then not playing it the second turn was really
Strange.
Questionable.
Also, playing the Argus over the Egg. I mean, you have a huge board. You're really only losing to a board clear.
I mean, this is still a great turn. I think Lothab double Flame Imp. It's pretty strong. Protect 2 Flame Imps. That's as good as you're going to get at this point on. You're not going to build a board anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lock down whatever Nairi wants to do.
Nairi can't Frost Nova either.
Okay, Lothab. Alright, Trump really saving the Lothab one.
Yeah, there's a few players who actually say that you should only play Lothab when you're about to either get lethal or deny the really full board clear that's going to put you close to it. So
I think we could.
I think you had it.
That situation was there the prior turn.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I really think I almost get the feeling that Trump forgot Blizzard was getting buffed by Blood Mage because putting down another defender didn't save anything. It's kind of like you threw it down and it really didn't do anything at all.
One of the best situations, if you don't have a board and you want to Lothab, is when you know the Mage doesn't have a secret on. Because if you played the Lothab there, the Mage wouldn't have been able to develop a secret that turn. Then he would have had to develop a secret the next turn, would have locked down his following turn with at least 3 mana. And I think it would have clenched the game there. Like, that's one of the best times to Lothab.
Yeah, deny the ice block. You lock him out of any options. He can't wipe the board, or if he does, then you can get lethal because he doesn't have the secrets. It's like one or the other.
It's like the equivalent of holding it until you do pop the block. It's just locking out the first one 2 turns in a row. It's even stronger.
I think Juggler Implosion is actually the play because you can drop Mal'Ganis next turn. Implosion on your egg.
Get the huge 3/3s. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, you can try. That's
if Flame Strike happens,
so
sad,
be it, I
but
guess. Yeah.
I think, if you didn't Lothab last turn,
you're just not going to do it this turn. So
I mean, he could Knife Circle Lothab, but it's so much worse than last turn.
Yeah, especially since you're going into turn 8, so secrets like Iceberry get developed, the second Nova gets played. This is almost like turn 8 is kind of the worst time to Lothab if you're trying to log down something, because you know there's a few 3-drop cards that can actually follow up.
Well,
he's gonna do it. It seems
we're really bad at casting,
and he doesn't play the juggler first.
Yeah.
So he's calculating how much damage he's gonna be at by the end of the sequence to pop the block at exactly. Wait, oh, he's playing around Molten Giants. Oh my God, he thinks it's Echo.
Okay. This is why we're so off on everything.
Neria.
Oh, we saw the duplicate.
Yeah, we saw the duplicate. So Trump thinks this is Echo. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Neria with the mind games over Trump, and it's working.
So actually, some of Nairia's plays might have been suboptimal to hide the fact that he was freezed. We weren't even catching that too.
I am actually very impressed. You know, this is one of the. I think this is the first time I see a legitimate, full-on mind games. Because where do you play duplicate in Freeze Mage? Like when? I don't think I've seen it before. And this is a case where the mind game is working so well that it actually ends winning the game for Neria.
Yeah, can't do anything.
I'm just, I don't know.
Looks like a pretty clear-cut Frost Nova. I wonder what he's thinking about.
Healbot Scientist to get another secret, but I don't think there's any.
Okay, as long as he pings next turn, he'll have lethal to Blood Mage on 10, I believe. It's 17, 18, 19. So he just needs to get 1 ping in this turn, and then I'll have lethal on turn 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the Mal'Ganis is going to have something to say about that.
Yeah, so I'll probably just end up Frostbolt. Yeah. Just going to throw some burn into it.
So Blood Mage Fireball kills Mal'Ganis, but then you can't freeze the board again. Because you've used 2 Novas in Aria's position, you've got really no more board clears until you find the Flame Strike.
Yeah. As good as Mal'Ganis is, I think
Wow.
Trump going first, but Mal'Ganis seemed pretty solid. You see the 2 Frost Novas, you're not afraid of Flame Strike with Mal'Ganis. It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play just heal bot Ice Barrier to buy that time that you were talking about, and then just win? Because that's
Yeah, at
16
this point in
health.
Iria, he sees the Lothab down, so he actually can play around Mal'Ganis. As weird as it sounds, it's like, yeah, the only thing I'll lose to is Mal'Ganis, so I'll do the best play, assuming he has Mal'Ganis in hand. I think that's what's going through Nari's head right now. Because there's no, Zoo doesn't play Kazan or anything, so.
Mm.
Some people ask me, like, about Freeze Mage, like, do you play around Kazan or Lothab ever? And yeah, if you have the opportunity to, your last 2 turns, 2 or 3 turns, usually you can do them in whatever order you want, and then you just play around those type of cards.
Yeah, assuming you're far enough ahead that nothing more obvious is going to lose you the game, then sure, you're going to play around it, but it's not like a priority, I guess. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the defensive play. Flame Strike can only really get you into trouble here.
Actually, Flame Strike knocks out
Flame
more
Strike
damage.
thing was actually, I was going to say, removes quite a lot of damage from the board.
Because Flame Strike gets kind of worse from here on out when you don't have the mana to do it. You kind of want to Flame Strike this turn, then if he has a weird board, you could actually, like, maybe single target freeze something big.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is fine. He wants to conserve, he's going for that next turn kill.
And there it is.
I think you might want to sacrifice a creature first if you Mal'Ganis, because you want to drop the Void Walker. Right? So now you have to sacrifice the Knife Juggler.
Was it potential lethal? 15? No. Okay, so Nyria, I've seen a lot of Freeze Mages that, especially with Patron around, and when you're on the Fatigue plan, you actually don't play Doomsayer because it's pretty unreliable these days. They just play more AoE, for example. And Nyria's already thrown out all his freezes, so I don't even think he plays Doomsayer, so this is going to be hard to clear. Flame Strike is not quite good enough, so he has to Flame Strike and do something.
Well, Blood Mage Flame Strike takes out Lothab at least, and then you're still having to deal with the 5/6. Well, Mal'Ganis is going to stay up, obviously.
Yeah, Nyria's really upset. He's like, I have the lethal in my sights. Trump's still playing around
Still
Moltens.
playing around Moltens.
I like it.
Oh.
Okay, so there's Doomsayers, but no more freezes. He has one more Blizzard, maybe Conical if he plays it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about Flame Strike Doomsayer? Doesn't that slow
So
down
Flame
the
Strike
game?
Doomsayer. Actually, you could throw out an Ice Lance there too. So it would just be the 5/5, the froze. No, it'd be an egg and a 5/1, right? 5/2.
Yeah, well, it'd be a
and a Void Walk.
That,
And the Lothab. Yeah, so I think Blood Mage Flame Strike is permissible. It's not ideal, but it clears the board and it cycles your Blood Mage. You need to find some more cards.
What about Fireball Ping? I mean, Blood Mage Fireball and Mal'Ganis drop Doomsayer. That'll tank 7 damage as he goes for face. Where do you find the lethal? You'd have to top deck like a defensive card.
Yeah, almost always when you play a Freeze Mage, whenever you're planning your turns, you want to include Cycle whenever possible.
Exactly.
So your first priority is get the Blood Mage down, then plan from there. See if there's a viable plan. And I think Flame Strike is...
Flame Strike
Yeah,
Frostbolt just seems the best.
Yeah, because Flame Strike, it gets messy and messy as it goes on.
So you mean Frostbolt, Mal'Ganis, Flame Strike instead of
Right,
keeping the Frostbolt for lethal?
Okay.
He's gonna go for the Fireball and then Mad Scientist Doom. Or not Doom.
Okay. But his hand doesn't do that much damage without the spell power anymore.
Well, what's
Yeah, that was the
interesting
second
though...
Fireball, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say what's interesting though is that with the second ice block, he's still possibly going to win on the pings, if it takes long enough.
Okay, Trump's probably figured out that he's with 2 Fireballs and no Molten coming down that turn. Do you think he's still playing around the Moltens? It could still be like
I don't know. It's so.
Yeah.
I mean, Molten, Echo, Molten, Sun Fury, and then you're like, well, that backfired.
What can Nyria actually get to win, though, is what I'm thinking. Like, he has to be
Blizzard.
running...
You could do Blizzard, then Ice Lance, the Egg, the Nerubian, then Doomsayer.
That just keeps going, though, but Trump's card quality is really high.
Yeah, I think the Dr. Boom is also gonna kill you if a Blizzard comes down and you Doomsayer. In this specific case, it'll win Trump the game. So from our perspective, I really don't know what Nyria could get.
Looks like he's gonna suicide some minions here.
And he's gonna get
jungle plays.
the one boom bot.
Oh, is he gonna get the Mad Scientist swing in? That's huge.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah, with 2 pings, that's 17 damage.
he needs to
Ice block.
heal.
He's got the ice block.
Oh my god. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, if
Yeah, that's enough.
you can't clear.
No. You just ice block, ping, and then you have enough damage.
Yeah,
Thanks
that's
to
the
Scientist
only way you
damage.
win.
Yeah,
It's good enough.
Yep.
should be good. He knows Mal'Ganis and Lothar are down, so Lothar doesn't matter at this point.
If that doesn't do it, nothing does. Let's hope
Actually,
Naria doesn't make a mistake.
what about just like suiciding your mad scientist? So there's like no hope of Trump being able to play anything like a Kazan.
Oh, no, he needed the 2 damage off the Scientist.
Yeah,
already
otherwise he
hit
didn't
phase.
win.
Oh, that's
He
right,
absolutely
that's right,
needed to hit
that's right,
phase.
That's right.
So I know Power Overwhelming doesn't activate the bomb on your turn. Is there any way to activate the bomb on
That's
the
what
other
I'm
person's turn? I don't
thinking
think
about
so.
right now. Yeah, I really don't. Wait, no. Something
Like
would have to die on your
Nightmare
opponent's
or
turn.
something. Say yes, sir. Get Nightmare. Okay.
Something would have to die on your opponent's turn so that you spawn a minion and Knife Juggler hits face. Maybe that's another
Okay.
way, but I don't know how that would work. So he
Alright.
still needs to
Oh, wait, he's
really
one off?
top deck hard. Yeah, no, he needs to top deck really hard.
Okay,
He's
I
off
didn't
lethal.
I thought he had enough with the 2 things.
No, not quite.
Okay, so if he
Trust
doesn't
the
have
guy.
fireballs, he doesn't have. I don't believe he has a. Does he have a frostbolt?
Pyro could be. No, he's played two. Wait, no, he didn't frostball the second time. I think
The frost novas would be huge here.
they're gone. So rip.
They're gone though. You know.
Doomsayer's a no ever. So I guess Alex Straza is the only defensive play, but in this case, it doesn't even save him.
Just have to be Pyroblast. That's
Yeah, it has to be Pyro or. What other funky card could Naria be playing at this point? I don't even know. Nightblade?
I put
Let it happen.
for Naria. That would have been such an amazing game.
Yeah, Neria is not looking too happy.
He's got like a 15%, I think, of top decking. Maybe Arcane Intellect into something that he wants. Oh man, this is the worst.
Yeah.
You look at this and you just cry.
Blizzard's almost good enough, but the egg activates.
Well, the Dr. Boom's Boombot will kill you, so.
Well, no, if you do
You
Doomsday,
can Doomsayer first. Yeah.
hope for the best.
Okay, yeah.
And the
Yeah, you're
boom
right,
bot
that
down
could have
south.
actually
Keeps
possibly-
Oh,
it.
he's hoping for the concede. He's agonizing Trump.
I think this would only work on like I don't know.
On me, it would work on me. I
Well
would.
played.
I
Well
would- I'd
played.
point to it.
Well played. Yeah.
Naria with the attempted bluff and Trump happy
Yeah.
about himself with the Trump t-shirt. It's actually really weird seeing Trump's face over Trump's face.
Yeah, especially when he scrunches that thing and looks like it's not pleasant.
He's grinning. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
weird. Well, it's gonna equalize the series again. We talked about that earlier. It
Yeah,
happens
I-
a lot.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was possible. The hole Valley Town was in was pretty deep. So it was a really big deal to equalize. Not only that, I believe if we look at the standings, that Value Town has the one win on each player, which is this positional advantage in this
Right.
format. Still, no show from show yet.
Yeah. So if I was Dog's Rogue, I'd really need to get. I need to match up my Rogue against that Hunter because his Patron and Mage are pretty bad. Although we might see the Assassin's Blade, which could help against Patron.
But the thing is, like, I think the worst deck on Valley Town's side was the Zulok. Like, that win
Yeah.
was so
That's
insanely.
huge.
Yeah.
And now there's this information about Naria's deck.
It's a freeze mage with
And-
Duel, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know how much that changes. Like, did he cut a second ice barrier for it? That's kind of what I
Ice
got.
Barrier is
a
actually
feeling
kind
for.
of important against Rogue, but with the heal
Yeah.
body should be fine.
Mhm. He still has like 16 extra healing, so it's not that terrible.
Those duplicating Doomsayers is super annoying against Rogue and
Yeah.
Shaman.
It has to be
Okay.
just Doomsayers, but
I hate that.
often Doomsayers are not killed. Often they're just silenced away, and it doesn't really help with that at all. So I don't know. The duplicate just seems weird in every way I'd imagine it, which is probably why Trump was so thrown off in his game against Neria.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable though, because it cycles your deck with like sometimes your scientist doesn't work, so it like guarantees your scientist is always going to cycle your deck one, and you just duplicating pretty much anything is pretty useful.
Another thing to note is that Team Liquid had all the good matchups going into this, but now Neria's Freeze Mage doesn't really seem that great. It's obviously all right against Rogue, but I think it's not really supposed to win against a decent draw from the Shaman or Control Warrior at all.
Yeah, it's near 50 against the Shaman. I would say it's a slightly unfavored against Shaman, but it's still like near 50.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Control Warrior, and then without them, yeah, no Malgus, no chance.
I'm hoping we see some action from Show. Last week, I think Liquid had a pretty bad run against, in fact, your team, I believe it was.
Yes.
Yes, it was indeed. That was like the most convincing victory we'd seen as far as matches went. So
Show was the only player able to get a point for Team Liquid with the Hunter in that week.
Yeah, we put a lot of work into our lineup that week, and we knew we were taking a slight risk, but once we saw their lineup, we were like really happy that we brought like Control Warrior and we brought Mage, I think, and then something else that was kind of off, but it worked out perfectly.
All right, well, it is going to be the Hunter from Show against the Rogue of Dog. I think this is pretty close to a toss-up.
well, the Hybrid Hunter is, though, depending on how the draw really lines up from Show's side, because if he draws on the more aggressive side, then it's going to be obviously sometimes a little tougher for the Rogue to stabilize unless she's got the exact draw. But if he draws an average curve, then I think it's a little easier for the Rogue.
Yeah, this used to be a Rogue favorite matchup, but most Rogues, I don't know, Dog is with me on this, that like we don't like playing the South Sea when it's not necessary. And just on average with things like the Eaglehorn Bow, the Mad Scientist, the Creeper, and the Animal Companion, and now the Shredders, the Hunter's almost always going to outcurve the Rogue.
Right.
There is the South Sea, okay, so that does help a lot. So if Show chooses to ignore something on the board that's huge, like hoping it gets freezing, and then like Dog buffs it up with the oil, and then he pops the freezing with the South Sea, then he can get punished.
All right, well,
Backstab's also one of the most important cards as well.
Yeah, this hand from Dog is a really good one to start with.
And the Backstab seems a reasonable counter to the Leper Gnome. I think the coin is way too valuable to use on a hero power here.
Yeah, especially with the SI7 and the bot teacher here. I think you just pass, but you see he's thinking about it.
Mm.
So
you don't think
backstabbing this is only
backstab
good.
is worth it?
I wouldn't use it here.
Only
Maybe
good against I wouldn't use it here, but Dog's expecting maybe a Mad Scientist that he can coin SI7.
Okay.
Also, he can just proc the SI7 with the South Sea later.
Oh, there is Mad Scientist. How about that?
Yeah, so he actually, I guess his play is better because if it's Mad Scientist, you can just backstab the 7 next turn, so he takes an extra 2. Or you can just ignore the Leper Gnome. I usually ignore the Leper Gnome there. He also could tell us how much like Dog might not be playing double heal bot if he feels the need to backstab the Leper Gnome that early.
Yeah, and I know he does play double heal bot quite frequently when he plays Rogue. So
What do you think about the off-curve Mad Scientist over the bow?
I like it. I like concealing the bow. If he did play the bow, I would recommend not swinging. Not swinging is really good against Rogue. You see a lot of hunters that just like want to swing the first swing so they don't like lose charges by the end of the game, but almost always it's best to just hold the bow against Rogue.
Well, Dog is trying to get his deckhand frozen here. We'll see if it works.
Wait, yeah. Oh, well,
It might not work. It might be
explosive,
explosive.
right? Yeah.
and it is explosive. Turns
explosive.
out they're gonna be punished a little bit, but not too much. It's all right.
Wow. I'm actually surprised. He played as if he knew that was freeze trap and then like swished around as the trap came through.
Yeah.
Well, he could have attacked the face with a weapon to see if it was explosive in the first place. But then what do you do about that creeper?
Okay. Okay, I guess I would still swing there. I would take out the SI7. It's just risky.
It's too good, right? To not take.
Yeah. See, now he has to break his bow. Oh,
He doesn't
Or
have to
not.
do anything. I think he's just gonna smork it up, man.
Yeah, it's looking like he wants to be super aggressive and hope the Rogue just doesn't draw the one heal bot that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The high main gets punished really heavily, so that's not going to be a very reliable outcome. I'm not sure about. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about Show's line of play right now. It's super
I'm not
aggressive.
sure
but
about
at the same
Dog's line
time-
of play. Like, he's just giving the hunter an endless amount of time.
So Show has about 10 damage with the bow hero power. So he just needs to find 4 more. And with the abusive, that's just 1 charger before Dog can find a
Yeah.
heal bot.
A heal,
And
yeah.
you never, when you see double teach on the board, you don't even have to worry about oil lethal. You just like, okay, it's just gonna miss, so I'm not worried about
So
burst.
the question is, if you're Dog, do you sap first and then lose the 1/1 to not give him unleash, or do you?
Yeah, I think you spawn all your 1/1s and then you kill them all.
Yeah, I think that's
I
kind
think
of the
you're
idea.
behind now, so you just make the 1/1s and just not put around
Hope for
unleash.
the best.
All right,
Yeah, this
so you're
is
trying to get the
too far
damage.
behind. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's probably going to be attack face, then sap, then deadly poison development. With the blade flurry, it's unlikely he's going to attack with this weapon, I think.
Yeah. You make the students, although he has the prep fan opportunity. Let's see what he does here.
I am ready.
You think prep fan's worth it?
Yeah, he'll just wait till next turn. Okay, yeah, wait.
I am
Yeah, I mean, if unleash comes out anyway and he goes full face with them, you can always clear them out with the fan. I mean, because you have prep, it doesn't really matter when you play it.
All right.
So he actually has lethal if the oil hits. If the oil doesn't hit, he might still have it as well.
Crypt told me you always find unleash here, but
Yeah, he has
apparently it's a
lethal
lie.
even if the oil misses.
Hmm.
He doesn't have oil, of course, but you know.
Prep fan of knives could still get you. You have like 2 draws to get there.
Yeah, Show doesn't have lethal this turn, so Dog's got time.
7. I think the high main might be good enough. Even though you don't get that hero power, you kind of need.
The Shredder's almost as good as Hyman here, though, so you can just hero power bow, and then
Is
it's just
it?
2 damage.
Well, hero power bow, you only need like 1 minion to hit in. Like then the extra 2 drop that comes out of the shredder is pretty much the same as
Yeah, you
high
can
main,
even
but you get
creeper
the weave and
here.
hero power. Yeah, you
can
just need a
actually
body.
argue for creep.
Yeah, creeper
okay,
shredder just to get an extra body.
I would. Creeper actually might have been amazing.
Thing is, he's
Oh
already.
my
Oh
God.
my god. He's already used one of the Wolf Riders, so it's really only the other Wolf Rider that prevents him from getting
Hang on,
lethal.
right? Oh,
So the Arcane Golems or a Huffer, it would be lethal anyway. Kill Command would be lethal anyway. Quick Shot, I guess, will not be lethal with this line of play.
I am ready.
That's something to think about.
He really just needed 1 extra minion that he didn't find. So,
Yeah.
and Show got top decked, and you could see it in his face.
and Show. You need the unleash share.
Yeah, he needs Unleash.
Wolf Rider, Arcane Golem.
No, Wolf Rider is not enough. He needs Arcane
Gil.
Golem, Huffer,
Oh, Wolf Rider is not enough.
Kill Command. No.
Well, yeah, it is with abusive, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. My bad.
Bluegill's
Oh.
not. Oh, okay.
Quick Shot is not enough.
should have played Shredder or
Should have
Creeper.
played the Shredder. Wow.
It would have gotten sapped in this case anyway, so it was really just getting that extra 2 damage from the hero power that mattered. So yeah, they were kind of
Alright.
equivalent, but it was a bit better to get a shredder just to weave in that extra 2 damage. Even Creeper, like I think like hype. I think you're right on that one because the Creeper
it's
giving you
not-
2 bodies, it
is
doesn't
is
even matter
over?
which one stays.
Is it over? What if you get a Ghoul?
A ghoul out of the piloted?
Yeah.
Actually, wait, a
Wait, can
blue
you-
gill warrior would do it. Would not
Oh,
no,
the
you can't.
Blade
We'll
Flurry
go.
would be enough. The Blade Flurry would be enough.
Wait, play the shredder, quick shot it, get a bluegill warrior, buff it with abusive, hero power, go face, you win.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This would have been so good.
Opportunity missed.
Oh
No.
god, esports moment lost.
I'm a little disappointed Show didn't just kill it, as I said. I know it was because he had the
That's not
explosive
even
trap,
that
but
Yeah, the swing with the weapon was
play. It's like 1.3%. We see like 0.00026%
no,
plays.
I'm
all the
talking about
time.
early. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
talking
let's
about
talk about
the
early.
early bow hit that Show didn't take on
Yeah,
the
that was a
SI when it came
huge
out. It gave him like
outside
3
play.
minion kills on the SI
Yeah.
because he was expecting Dog to misplay into explosive or just be very aggressive about it. So that didn't quite work out. I'm pretty sure the Hunter could have piloted the deck or the hand to the victory here, considering there was no healing from the Rogue.
Yeah.
But it didn't work.
Yeah, plus
It was
like when you
still
have the
very
Savannah
close.
there, it's always a choice. It's like, does he have sap? I'm gonna go for it, not sap. Yeah.
Yeah, Show got a bit unlucky there, but still, I'm telling you, there was a bluegill in that shredder. The next shredder we see Bluegill Warrior guaranteed.
And if it happens, Crib, this will
It's
go
gonna
down in
happen.
history.
All right, well, we have Control Warrior from Trump and probably Mech Shaman from Kibler. As it stands, those are two pretty decent decks. It's going to be pretty difficult for the Mage to run through either of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking about Trump's Warrior versus the Hybrid Hunter, it has to be slightly worse than a mid-range Hunter, right? A lot of people talk about, when they talk about Hybrid Hunter, though, they admit that it's like, so it's less consistent than mid-range and Face Hunter, but it has the potential to be the strongest, is like the way most people look at it, if you get perfect draws.
Yeah, if you get good draws, you actually can't lose it because you're not only aggressive, but you're also curving with some of the best mid-game minions in the game. So it's kind of hard to lose with that. Like, just by the fact that they're sticky and you're just looking to establish boards that nobody takes. So, yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, it's got more top deck potential as well, by like a small margin. If you do get a decent start, you don't really need to always get bad draws mid-game.
Yeah. I have to imagine Trump's Warrior, and it has to be teched for Patron. We haven't seen anything yet. We haven't seen even a single brawl or revenge, though.
No, we
But
did
I'd
brawl.
really like,
We saw
We
one
did?
brawl, yeah.
We saw
Okay.
one brawl drawn pretty early so far.
I'd really like to see a revenge here, but at the same time, shows like a good player. You might just play around revenge. It's not that difficult.
Well, you have to expect revenge to start. Has revenge really made the typical list?
No, but at the same time, sometimes you have that situation where they don't have brawl, and you're just kind of whittling them down with like maybe 3 patrons on the board, and then you see him at 15. I've made this mistake once. I'm like, okay, I will play around revenge. I'll leave you at 13, and then the guy had a death spite on. I'm like, oh, he just swung into my guy and then revenged my whole board, and I lost. But sometimes it's that easy, just not attacking with 1 patron.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that loses you the game is that. So you
Exactly.
might as well
Because you
just
know that they
wait
don't have brawl.
one. It's kind of like playing around Kazan Mistake, right? Once you're done
There you
playing
go.
around the rest, you just throw that extra bit in. Makes sense.
All right. Well, it's Kibler's turn to be up here. If he wins this match, he's gonna. After today, he would have pulled further ahead from you, hyped in terms of the big prize, the most wins compared to the losses in the
Yeah,
tournament so far.
no, it might be 2-0 today as well.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Wait, so
The
he's 1-0
pressure
right
is
now?
stacking. Yep, he is 1-0 right now. And
Okay.
all the matchups that remain, I think, are slightly favorable to the Shaman.
I'm not familiar with this exact matchup though.
I think just generally the Mech Shaman, if it draws
Okay,
well
yeah, Mech
enough,
Warp is
it's
great
just,
against Hunter,
it's just
yeah.
the fastest deck. So if the Hunter goes face and the Shaman goes face, and they both draw about as well, I think the Shaman wins.
I think it depends whether or not they decided to tech. Because, I mean, Mech Shaman can be modified a bit from its core, where you might be willing to play, like, Harvest Golems sometimes, I think. And the occasional Lightning Storm that's been played as a one-of against specific decks. But the thing is that I doubt Kibler is going to tech the Shaman list, like the core list. From
I don't think I've seen Harvest Golem since 2014.
It's decent versus like aggro and mid-range decks. Mostly like mid-range, you're gonna be doing okay-ish with it in Shaman. But yeah,
So for
Yeah.
sure, when would it either see like an early scientist? I think is like his best bet.
Yeah, I mean, his best bet is just Kibler drawn garbage. I mean, we basically
Yeah.
saw that in Saviz's side.
It's a decent, against Mech Shaman, it's a decent bet.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it's so. I think Hunter in general is just not very good against Shaman. So
It used to be. And
It
he
used
is
to
playing
be
as a explosive strat.
amazing.
So I mean, if Kibler goes for the totem strategy, like he did that other game versus Savitz, or no, that was Savitz going for the totems because he had no other
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah. You can't really blame him for that.
well, if Show gets Unleash, I mean, it's one of those things where Kibler only needs to get a certain amount of damage in because there's no reach. There's no healing start for the Hunter that's gonna force the Shaman to have more reach. All he needs is get about 15 points of damage in, and then sometimes the rest of the damage can come from hand.
Yeah.
directly. It's
Even if Show cleans up a board with Unleash, he's
Yeah.
probably still going to lose if that's what it takes for him to come back in the game. The early game is so important, but like turn 4 is like it's already decided, right? Like early game, we're
Yeah.
talking about the first 2 turns in the game. Are
Yeah,
often
exactly.
gonna decide the winner here.
Pretty much. I mean, you're
Also
hoping
waiting
you're
for
not
that
on the
turn
bad
0.
end.
Oh, turn 0's happening. There we go.
Nice.
Uh,
Oh
that
my
is
God.
okay.
What a well, both players are
Actually,
really
the
getting a
creeper
start.
knife chugger is
I
pretty
think the
solid.
hunter's better. The hunter has the better start here because he has the perfect start with the juggler and the weapon.
Well, it's kind of modifying.
Maybe, but like on average, like the average shaman hand, that's far superior to the average shaman opening compared to like hunter's average. I mean, that's like a big average hunter opening, right? Whereas
Yeah.
killer's shaman opening is like top 2%.
Yeah. So the consistency of the shaman, let's just say, is at the very bottom of the barrel compared to this. So, oh,
Wow.
whoa.
So
So do you play
Mech-Warper,
Annoyatron?
yeah. Mech-Warper, Annoyatron, and then Whirling Zap-O-Matic and
Spider
that other
tank.
thing. Spider Tank, yeah.
That other thing.
That other
Sounds
thing.
good. Okay. That one? It's just gonna be
Oh, no.
that's aggressive. No
Also, they just
abusive,
get-
no eagle horn.
Yeah,
Okay.
interesting.
So no quick shot, no
I feel this can get really punished here.
you know, there's a good argument for it, which is even if he does kill it, if he doesn't kill it, you win, and if he does kill it, then you still have a spider tank, an Oilotron on the back of this, and
If-
you should be able to keep those.
If Show
theoretically.
gets lucky, he instantly wins the game here.
yeah,
It's over.
juggles be good,
Like,
right?
At the same
Like,
time, if just going for that is having the neck juggler on board, which kind of demands an answer, right? So it'd be a solid play. You just maybe take an extra 3 damage. I would have liked to see the neck juggler. Oh, okay. Well, I guess he figures he's gonna bow that down next turn.
Oh,
my God.
oh, this is getting.
It's getting really out of
Uncomfortable.
control. Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, if you play Annoyatron and Zap-O-Matic, you have to pop at least the Sergeant.
A Neutron Zapmatic Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd have to bolt a 2-1 to hope to keep the Zap-O-Matic alive. But then Bow comes up, and I mean, I guess you don't lose the Zap-O-Matic in this case.
I think I like that the most.
Yeah. It really gives you a good follow-up damage-wise, which means you're gonna race ahead pretty wildly, actually. But this, like, if Show had just a bit more mana, this would be just, you know, Bow, Juggler together are pretty insane. And it could still... It could have still been a super big problem.
Alright, well... Ouch.
Okay, I like this.
It's good for him that he picked up the Leopard Gnome, because otherwise his Curvin board were going to look very, very measly versus the Hunter board.
Well, both players are running out of steam. I think if both players are really high HP, which they are, it favors the Hunter.
Yeah. I'd venture to say so. I think, and at this point, none of them has card draw, right? And none of them can, well, I mean, at least the Shaman can't realistically think about trading at any point. Whereas the Hunter doesn't care. Like, eventually, if the game drags on, he should be the one pulling ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty big swing card as well.
Alright, well, with good juggles here, Show should start to crawl back in the game pretty well. I think the Creeper into the Wind Fury here is the best.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have a source of 1, 2, and 3 damage, so you could handle pretty much anything.
That's a bad juggle. That's a really bad juggle.
It's good. It's
Well,
good enough.
It's not
It's
that
good
bad. I
enough.
mean, you take 2 damage to the face
Yeah,
and
you're
you wipe
right.
the
You're
board.
right. You're
It's
right.
okay.
You actually don't have to kill it. Oh yeah, you did. Okay, juggler.
Face would have been worse.
Actually, I think it might have been the best because you only took 2.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Oh man, so
And
he's
here
2.0
starts-
here.
Okay, so now the question
So,
is, yeah,
Killing the
keyword.
juggler doesn't go to your game plan at all, does it? So you just have to go face, right?
Yeah.
The question is, do you really think it's gonna work to wait for that spell damage?
Oh, okay, I see.
That's the other question the killer's asking himself. Is like, do I have enough turns to risk waiting for that 25%, or do you just have to shove it all in and hope that works?
Okay, saving it, saving it.
He gets the, Oh, okay, no Lotheb play.
No, you want a Lotheb when you can. Oh, that's nice. End the game faster than your opponent can draw out on you.
Lightning Storm Tech from Killer would be insane right now. That's
9.
not quite it.
Well, Kibler's not dead, but it's pretty tough to do anything here. Like, what is a 1 card out that actually allows you to win? Oh, he's dead.
A charge minion with spell damage for 0 mana.
Alright, Hype,
I
you
don't
got
see
your
that.
wish. Kibler goes down.
Kibler's 10 and 4, I think. So he's still a bit ahead of me in terms of ratio. I'm 11 and 4. He's 10.
I think
and
you're
4.
11 and 5. I think you lost the game today.
Oh, yeah, I'm 11 and 5.
Yeah.
Oh man. The next match could be decisive.
Double check.
Alright. The Shaman is not able to take a victory over the Hunter, but it is still, again, pretty favored against the remaining decks that Liquid has. Now with Show claiming that win, Show's got the Warrior. We haven't seen what it is.
Yep.
I'd be very surprised if it's anything but Patron Warrior. Show's been practicing that to great success since BlackRock Mountain.
It exists, yeah, pretty much, exactly. He was doing like a lot of control warrior before, but
he has been playing a bit of the Deathlord Warrior. It's pretty
okay,
good against all
enlighten
the
me.
cancer decks.
You know, I knew the Deathlord Hunter, but this Deathlord Warrior, I have no idea what that is.
It has 2 Deathlords, 2 Brawls, 1 Slam. The Slam sounds weird, but it's it's worth mentioning. And just to update, I am 11 and 4, and Kibler is 10 and 3.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Okay.
So if he loses this, you're race ahead. If he loses and doesn't win another game,
doesn't win,
yeah, you're gonna be the one taking the lead in this Master of Duels
I'm
competition.
trying to steal all the glory. Very scumbag of you. Very scumbag. All right. Well, it doesn't really matter too much, I think, here to get benched, does it? I mean, Trump's control warrior. Actually, it might. It might. If you know the Shaman is benched, if you know you're up against control warrior, then you'd play Patron for sure, because you really want to dodge that freeze mage versus control warrior matchup. That's really all it is. If Team Liquid can dodge the control warrior versus freeze mage matchup, I think they'll do just fine. But if they can't, it's really bad news.
Nice. So
is Nightmare ultimately just gonna if you look at the entire series, right? Is Value Town taking it most of the time, and it just because of the control warrior from Trump?
Maybe.
Yeah, it should. Like overall percentages, it should favor the Value Town. But that controller keeps losing like these good matchups.
I don't know why. Yeah, there's something.
It was a great pick this week, but it kept losing good matchups.
Well, it lost twice before it won once last week, and it's lost twice already so far. Wow.
Well, Neria could lock out that mage and be done with it, and then control warrior still typically wins versus the patron, depending on how things go. But you never know.
I'd say it's like 45% for control warrior. We didn't see the second brawl. We haven't seen revenge. I know you guys don't think revenge is that good, but I think it's still only like 45 for the control warrior.
So patron is just that good.
Yes.
Well, the picks really went Team Liquid's way here. This is pretty close to an even matchup, but it makes it so if Liquid wins, they're in like incredibly good position. Actually, I guess if Value Town wins, they're in incredibly good position. This is really the decisive match of the tournament here.
Okay, nothing special for Kibler here. Maybe not. Neria has no answer to the Whirling Zapamatic, and he's going for it. I like it. Maybe he saw that Neria tossed everything. And looking at Naria's hand, none of that is worth keeping. So Neria probably did mull his full hand. That's why Kibler's going for this.
Yeah,
Frostbolt
he's trying it
answer.
It's good for Neria that he had this, because this could have gone out of control pretty fast. I mean, what does Freeze Mage do against the Doomhammer? Like, it's gonna get full damage in. I guess it's gonna negate the double barriers. You can Ice Lance to deny the amount of burst that you expect to come out eventually.
Wait, double barrier? What?
Because he doesn't play the second one. We haven't seen this entire deck.
There's like 3 cards left.
I believe we saw 2 ice blocks and 1 barrier, 1 duplicate. So I'm guessing he cut it, but it makes sense. You play Healbot, you could cut an ice barrier. Just duplicate your Healbot. Easy. Pretty solid hand.
Well here, but
well, that's a pretty good card.
Yeah, none of Naria's cards are good long-term cards. Those are all just short-term answers. Like at this stage of the game, you're looking for your draw. So he's 1 draw off the Blood Mage, and he has no like Doomsayer freeze to turn it around. Although he does have the Frost Nova.
And that Frostbolt save makes it so it kills the Zap-O-Matic again.
Oh man.
The question is whether or not Kibler prefers that to the Fire Guard. Because Fire Guard will get in,
A lot of
like if it
overload
gets
in
6
here.
to 7 damage, I guess you could get as much damage
No, but
output as the
the
Whirling.
overload
but-
stops you from playing Doomhammer.
Yeah, I guess you really want to curve it in as fast as possible.
You want-
and then
you
you
want to
can
go
play
Doomhammer
Doomhammer into
into-
Fire Guard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's much better. But at the same time, like the amount of damage you get out of Fire, like you're forcing him to have Fireball for the Fire Guard.
Yeah, but the odds are likely that you're forcing him to have Fireball for the Whirling Zap-O-Matic.
As well, okay.
Because you already saw one Frostbolt.
Not playing around he's playing around Duplicate, so he doesn't want to give his opponent a second Thalnos.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Very good play.
Shaman is usually the easiest to play or duplicate, though. You just Earth Shock things, and you Hex the other things, and then duplicate never happens.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he has Hex in his deck, but maybe. Garo's playing it.
Yeah, it's been actually like I
It's a
think
beats,
Mech Shaman is switching around a little bit to where you see a little bit more control tools, as weird as that sounds. Like they're not full
Wow.
control, but
Look at that!
look at that.
It's curved.
What? It's curving pretty well, isn't it?
And Nyria just
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
Doomsayer one time for Nyria. Although I guess he could just crackle Rock Bite at the Doomsayer at this point.
Yeah, it's 75% kill on it. So
That's still
spell
fine,
damage
though,
actually it's 100%.
because-
Never mind.
No, that's fine because you you can follow up with a Flame Strike play.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That is not good conical positioning.
So Blizzard.
Or
right?
Shredder
If-
positioning.
If Blizzard happens, I guess that's the reason Kibler's keeping the Zap-O-Matic, making sure that if things go really, really wrong, there's at least a follow-up. And he keeps the Zap-O-Matic. And he'll know right now if there's a Blizzard. Like, absolutely.
Most likely, I think we'll just see Thalnos Frostbolt ping on the Fireguard Destroyer.
Double Thalnos Frostbolt.
Or
Done like
Thalnos
Double Thalnos or Mad Scientist. Either way, you want to get your cycle cards going, and you can just ping next turn. I think,
would
yeah,
you-
the Scientist is better, because you kind of do want an Ice Block in relative
At
time.
some point, yeah, exactly. Against
Oh.
Mech Shaman, you're...
This is the long-term play. This is the greedy play.
this is the
this
I'm
is
gonna
the-
Flame Strike you, so I
Yeah,
don't really care.
exactly.
Yeah.
I have a Flame Strike radar just built into my brain after playing as much arena as I have, and it's basically at 100% right now.
This is so true. This is actually probably the most important tool you can ever develop is a Flame Strike Radar when playing Arena.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. Well, I mean, I'm guessing you just Doomhammer and go full face.
No, I think you kill the Scientist in case there's a second duplicate. I mean, you can't put it past it at this point.
Really? Okay. All right.
What?
Let's see.
I guess you wouldn't want to do that just the end of the turn, so hit them in the face. They can't. I guess with one barrier down, you don't have to worry about the rebarrier, so I guess it's okay to kill the Scientist first.
It's Ice Block I don't want to see, but I mean, it's going to come out no matter what.
Yeah. But he could have been thinking, he's like, well, if I maybe I want my Shredder Pop to live so I can like clear some of this, but probably not, you know. Maybe. He knows the Flame Strike's coming.
I mean, there's no hurry to use a Rock Biter, I guess. Like, it's only really weak to Ice Lance or
Yeah.
Frostbolt, and you're still usually going to have the time it takes to...
I like
To
this.
get
He gives up
everything
just 1 damage to protect his Shredder Spawn. Oh, okay, he gave him 3 damage to protect his Shredder Spawn. I don't know if I like that as much. Because, I mean, the 1 Downless probably wouldn't kill whatever comes out of the Shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kibler's shaking his head.
So, do you Nova here? And then
Let's see.
try to set up a better Flame Strike, or are you afraid of some weird tech, like Lotheb and Mech?
Yeah, Flame Strike isn't even good anymore because the Fire Guard is 5 HP, so I think you have to go for Nova, or... I
Well,
kinda
you
like the
can
Frostbolt last turn
you can
better.
Frostbolt Nova and then ping the Fire Guard to set up for a perfect Flame Strike.
Right,
Yeah,
you
that's
probably
not-
Shredder right now.
Yeah. Like, perfect Flame Strikes aren't your goal, those Freeze Mage. It's like more just like getting like good Frost Nova turns, and but he's forced to this turn. So like okay, there's another Frost Nova, good for him. But that Frostbolt turn 2 turns ago would have been a lot better, because then it would have given you a lot more flexibility with your Frost Novas than the Flame Strike.
Yeah, like one instead of 2 Thalnos, is just the one, and then you put the Fire Guard on the one hand.
He's gonna proc block here for sure.
Yeah, no reason not to, and he's got more than enough damage. He's gonna have to overkill with Crackle though, right?
Yes, it's gonna have to be Crackle. Unless he wants to just YOLO crackle and proc
I mean,
at 5.
Yeah, it's possible, but if you proc at 5, then if things go his way, then
Well, you use one less card that you can just use next turn, so it's
yeah.
fine.
I mean, your Doomhammer's gonna pop him no matter what the amount of health. As long as he's like below 4, you're gonna be able to pop, which is the weapon.
I just don't think you need to pop at 1. I think
Yeah, I think
he was just crackle face. Like if it hits for 4, then that's what it is. But if it hits for more than that, you don't use lightning bolt, which you can use next turn anyway.
Yeah, now if you're frozen, you're still able to kill him. Oh, Nova Doomsayer Frostbolt face. That looks pretty cool. Well, actually, it's kind of weak,
but you might need a block, which is also kind of nasty.
So Doomsayer, I mean, it's fine to Doomsayer Nova Ice Block because I mean, I guess that prevents the kill from the weapon anyway.
Yeah,
And
Kibler,
he needs Earth
could
Shock.
bluff a barrier here where Kibler wouldn't want to attack, but I think 4 damage he'd still just go through.
They saw his entire deck, so maybe they've got info. We have intel on Kibler. Kibler can't actually assume that Neri is playing Ice Barrier.
What if he just Frostbolt's face here?
Yeah, that's what I figured he might do, but then you said it
Doomsayer gives you a chance to, usually you want to combine your block with, when you do a bad block like this at 1 HP, you combine with Doomsayer. It's a small chance, like you have Alex, or you can get on the board next turn with the Emperor and then Frostbolt face, something like that.
So what's the worst outcome? What comes out of this Shredder that loses an area of the game? I can't think of really anything.
Well,
Patient Assassin would be hell. The egg and the Patient Assassin would be annoying.
they can Flame Strike Patient Assassin, Frostbolt
Gilding
face.
Stalker. Yeah, the egg is the worst probably. Oh, hello.
Yes.
Usually this is a lost situation because you gave your opponents free spells, but Archmage can't do anything with this.
Alright, well, Fireball, Millhouse, Frostbolt face gives him an opportunity to come back. It is actually not hopeless.
Yeah, there's a chance for a heal bot. You
Alex,
Acolyte
heal bot.
thing. Yeah. 2 draws, 2 outs, and this is no help.
One Nyria, you can do it. Don't let Kibler pass.
Also, if there is another barrier, that would work.
Yeah.
Or, actually, yeah, Ice Lance would work too. Blizzard Ice Lance face.
Alright, it's still one more turn to live. And these 2 weapons for Kibler are doing nothing. Ooh. The question is, do you live? Because you're going back up 14, but there's lethal on the board. No matter what. Like that
is
doesn't
there?
help you. Yeah.
Yeah. 4/6.
So it's heal button.
lethal.
Yeah, you'd need an Ice Lance for the Zap-O-Matic.
Is there any way you can live here? It has to involve... the only way you live...
Frost
is-
was down, so...
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
to involve an Acolyte. So I guess you ping an Acolyte, but like, I can't imagine any one card that does it.
Nope.
Sabotage. It doesn't even help. Sadly. There's like no card in the game I think saves it.
Runs out on me.
Oh, he has lethal! Oh, he doesn't take it.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna find lethal, but oh, next draw was the heal bot.
Yeah, I don't know what he's playing now.
Well, Kibler is gonna be getting the 1/1 score with the Shaman, so I'm sorry, Hyde, but your
Yep.
dreams of equalizing are dead.
Next week.
Dead in the water.
Next week.
Maybe next week. That also means that Value Town is in a commanding position here. That really was the decisive match of Value Town versus Team Liquid, as just the guys left over would have had like a really easy time. Right now, Trump has the easy time, but again, it is not guaranteed. Trump is somewhat likely, more so than not likely, to lose versus the Patron Warrior.
Yeah.
But he has a considerable advantage over the Freeze Mage of Nyria, which we've seen drop, I believe, 2 games already.
Yeah, Nyria's
Not
got about
3 games.
10%, and Show's got about 55 to 60%. I mean, sorry, the other way around. 40 to 45%.
And
So
Liquid
somebody's
right now
asking.
is,
Sorry, somebody's asking, what's your favorite matchup to play in Hearthstones to the 3 of us? So I guess, do you guys have an answer for that? Like, Trip, any
Favorite
matchup you
matchup?
prefer? Yeah, favorite matchup overall.
I like playing against Rogue because I always I know the exact perfect play. I don't even have to think about it. It's like nice to have the confidence that you know like every single play is correct. So whenever I'm playing against Rogue, for some reason it's easier than playing as Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Trip.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. My
I'm
favorite
thinking
one.
about it too.
Yeah, you're like absolute world favorite matchup. I mean, yesterday you were really hyped for the Freeze Mage versus Priest, I think.
Yeah,
You really
but
like
that's- Yeah, I really like to watch certain matches, but it's different than playing them, right? I'm talking
Yeah.
about playing them. That's
Yeah,
not the same thing at all.
He didn't specify, so I guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess you
Priest
can
Mage
play
vs. Duel is
story.
pretty fun too. Like you saw, like Tice just like when you have that control, you just like Frost Nova, Flame Strike, their whole board, Doomslayer. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe my favorite matchup is Mill Druid versus Face Hunter.
Okay, that's yeah.
See, I have nightmares about that game I watched you play. Not
The
only
real
did you
gang up
win, but you
Gilbot
also
versus Face
prevented
Hunter.
him.
That's a good one.
Oh no, like I think the video I made was with Rogue.
Yeah.
Gang up Rogue. Actually, it's pretty hard to beat Hunter, but Mill Druid actually has a pretty good matchup against Face Hunter.
Yeah, with the healing touches. I don't know if you were running those exactly or. But
Yeah,
it's-
double
it's-
healing touch, double heal bot, one panda. You get an ooze, and you get Tree of Life.
Yeah.
You know what else is fun?
N-
Is when
the
you get,
never
like,
died
good,
Druids.
you can get like a good 3-4 eliminators going against a Face Hunter if you have duplicate. That's always fun.
Alright, so Control Warrior from Trump versus Show's Patron. It seems it's going to be something somewhat of a standard deck. Although there is a Shield Slam that Patron list, so.
Yeah, and the Shredder actually does help a bit. It's a good card against puts the pressure back on the Patron Warrior. No Harrison or Baraldo, which is huge, but Show doesn't have the patrons anyways.
All right. Well, I think now we're just cycling draw cards until we get a ridiculous combo, and then Trump thinks he's safe at 70 life, and then
he
Show's gonna
dies.
show him otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Show has
Typical
no Battle
match.
Rage, no Emperor, so he might just go all in ASAP before Brawl can be drawn. That might be his best chance.
Well, that seems a little risky. Trump is playing a slow game as well.
Yeah, but Trump's happy because he's drawing, and Show's worried because Trump is drawing. Because again, getting that brawl when you're trying to get patrons up is a really big pain.
Yeah, Show's supposed to be the one drawing, not Trump.
Yeah, exactly. It's the other way around, which is something kind of uncommon, I guess, in a matchup like this.
All right. Well, Trump gets the better half of the trades between acolytes and death spites, as he gets an extra card off his acolyte.
Hey, look, it's Emperor,
wonder
but
if
for Control Warrior.
I think the off-curve Shredder might have been worth considering here.
Mm-hmm.
Unless maybe he just wants Show to break his Death Bite. He doesn't care. He's just like, just go ahead and break it.
Well, I don't like breaking it. You get too much combo cards, and you don't really want to play any of them.
So would you just go for? Well, what if you do break it and then you reestablish the next one?
Oh, that's way too risky. Well, I mean, yeah, you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, Show's just gonna hold it, I think. So I think maybe it is a good play from Trump with the side build. He's like, I know you don't want to swing into this, so I'm gonna play it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! And
Okay,
here's
so
gonna
like-
try to get patience to stay.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to go too crazy, and he sees the Battle Rage, so he's like, okay, I just need to get like a few cards out of Battle Rage here, and I'm not gonna do it if I'm not gonna play one of these creatures. So I want to hold the Frothing for sure.
All right. Well, it is going to take up and execute, from what I can tell.
And get the Fiery too. Show's gonna be really upset.
And it looks like he's going to use the Death Spite. I'm actually surprised, though.
Oh, because
Yeah.
he had to kill the Emperor next turn, so he can play his own Emperor.
Well,
I
you
see.
could always shield block, shield slam, but that's not going to let you.
Yeah, so what does
Play
the
your
Fiery
own
let you do? It lets you shield block, but this is the kind of matchup where you kind of want to shield block and armor up instead of shield block over armor up, for example. But I guess he just wants to draw. He figures he can just shield main, shield slam the Emperor.
Yeah, establish tempo plus kill something.
Well,
It would
no,
help.
he would play Shield Slam and his own Emperor. He has 5 armor.
Yeah. Okay, it works.
Death Bite into a slime. That can feel good as patron. This is like a
Yeah,
minion
both-
usually used to power on your patron frenzy.
And both players just running through their weapons very, very quickly here. But I think this type of trade favors the Control Warrior because the Patron Warrior has to set up quite a few things to get through all of that armor.
think Trump could have considered going face with that fiery there, but with the Armor Smith on the board, he might just be short. But I mean, with 2 swings of the Death Bite, a Grom, and a Cruel, that's 20, 23 with the fiery, and then another 5 from the Emperor, assuming swings into it. That's a lot of damage. 28.
Battle Rage set up, so at least he's gonna get 3 cards at this point.
And yeah, protecting the Armor Smith is huge too. Not that he knows it, but yeah, Trump is almost lethal. The Shredder's almost sure to connect though.
Yeah, I think most of the time, Patron really, like, without the, it's the stage of the game where they should have their combo pieces together, and if they're ready to unleash the damage, then that's great. But he doesn't even have a War Song. Second Frothing's way out, and let alone getting another round of Patrons.
So the Sacklight's only going to draw 1 though, so he has either the Execute or the Shield Slam. I think you hold the Shield Slam since you have the Shield Maiden. At the same time, you have a 1-mana Cruel for Execute activation whenever you want it.
Yeah. You can, yeah, maybe clear the board and just Crow Mash face here.
Yeah, I guess you could, but you're
actually
kind of
like
weak to
that.
execute, but it's really
Yeah, but
aggressive.
all your mins are weak to Execute, and this is like the best Grom you're going to get. It's,
You don't even need to enrage it if you don't want, but...
I mean, yeah, it's the Armor Smith. Oh, is he going to full clear?
Yeah, you can full clear and Gromash face.
He would have killed the Armor Smith first. I kind of like just Armor Smith face. I mean, Gromash face with just not full clear, you know?
We'll
Just
double
let it
main
get
out.
executed.
Okay,
But
yeah,
these are the resilient creatures.
Well, Shield Maiden will go down to the Shield Slam that Show's playing in this version. Probably, at least.
Show's still looking for super combos and mostly Emperor now. Okay. More
He's
cycle.
not going for the Shield Slam, never mind. Yeah, the axe is not too bad. You can kill that Shield Maiden and keep like the second charge to kill the Shredder next turn. Although that's a lot of damage taken from it, but I think what's really awkward is the fact that this Shredder is going to kill all, like, take out all the armor, and then your Shield Slam kind of sits there dead for the rest of the game.
Yeah. I like Execute, Shield Slam, and the Axe.
Yeah, that's like the only way you're gonna get Shield Slam value at this point, I think.
Yeah, plus you have the second Execute, so you bait Trump into playing something like Ysera, which he does play. Not going for it, though. Show just thinking he needs that to help his Frothings and Patrons do more damage later.
Well, Trump ends up drawing the remaining set of his weapons. I think both
Because he hasn't
players
played enough
draw
yet.
on every single weapon.
It's to make up for the Hunter games where Knife Juggler gets 17 hits in.
Yeah. Alright, well, you can push for quite a bit of damage here. You can actually Deathbite face, and if you want to push for more damage, you can Cruel Task your guy. You can push for 10 damage this turn.
Yeah. You're always
And-
afraid of the Patrons coming out, even without the Emperor, so you're probably not going to Cruel.
Yeah.
Actually, if you do Cruel, you could Shield Slam that, or do that, and then maybe you could just Cruel the Grom and go face. You don't think he has an Execute based on his last play. Yeah. Or you can not enrage it, like I said. No, I like this, though. You're not really that sad if he gets executed. It already got in 12 damage.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of the weapon hits are going to be enough to get the other warrior pretty low on health. It's just that you have to feel a little uneasy about the fact that this is, like, your board's, I wouldn't say full, but it's getting filled up, and there's a possibility that the opponent just gets a massive woe in turn in the near future. So without Emperor, it's really hard to get anything done, though, as Patron. And the Shredder's doing a lot of
What
work.
about Shield Slam for 2 on the Shredder after armoring it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, you're not going to have any armor, so...
You're never getting Shield Slam value. Like, it's just not happening. Which is why I thought he might do it earlier, like when on the turn with Shield Maiden, but apparently it seems like he figured he could face tank a bit of damage, lose the armor, and use it afterwards on the Shredder by just armoring up.
But really, if you look at it, if nothing good comes out of the Shredder, and I mean, that's usually the case, Trump is nothing.
Yeah, he has to top deck answers, but at least the 2 executes out of the way. So they could stick around.
Oh yeah, we did learn that Shredder pop from the Hunter game was not a blue build, though. We forgot to mention that. Remember, you're like, look at the next Shredder pop.
Right. Oh, well, never mind. That gives another round of Shield Slam value.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly, at least.
This is actually getting to the point where Trump can maybe like he's probably not going to do this, but he's stacking up so much armor that it's actually to the point where you could not play a creature and then the patron can never kill you. Say if you're holding a brawl, if that makes sense, the patron will just fatigue.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you have to really make sure that he doesn't get a good Emperor turn. I mean, he's gonna get at least one Emperor turn, and that's usually where.
Yeah, even if you do that though, I had a game.
Yeah.
Actually, had a game against Nyria. We were both playing Patron though. It was on the ladder. It was actually the last game of the season, and it got to the point where we both had so much armor that one of us couldn't kill. I forget who, because we had 2 games back and forth. And then I think it was I couldn't kill him or he couldn't kill me or something. And then yeah, if you just don't play a creature, you can't win. And then like they're never gonna play a creature, so you just have to go off. You take them to like
Yeah, and you hope
play
that
board.
your stuff can do it, and then you just get brawled out or something. Emperor Thorsten has to come out very soon because right now it's not working.
Cycle that too, I guess.
Yeah. It's pretty exasperating. No
Nope.
frauding.
But yeah, so if Trump does some math, if he's holding a brawl, because he needs a brawl to deal with the patron flood first,
Of course.
then he could just escape Nyria's or Stroh's range completely.
What's the exact range you have to be at? Do you know?
We'll see the inner range is going to mess up the math a little bit, but so he'll just do the math with he'll count how many whirlwinds Show has left, and then with 2 frothings but no creatures on Trump's side of the board, he can do the math, and it'll be somewhere around like with 2 whirlwinds, it'll be like around 50.
Isn't it? Doesn't he have a unstable ghoul left? Can't you
No.
double whirlwind and?
Yeah, so it'll all depend on Trump's how much whirlwinds Show has. Then he could do the math pretty easily though with no creature on the board and 1 Emperor tick, so it'll just be like 1 ghoul plus the 2 frothings and the Warsong.
Brawl's here, so I guess the patron turn is going to be negated almost fully, and then, as you said, there's a chance that he's just way out of range of lethal. But he still has to
Well, it's
stack a bit
actually
more
only-
armor for this, though.
Yeah, it's only 3 whirlwinds though because you can't do 4 else you kill your frothings. So you only have to do math for 3 whirlwinds.
Mm-hmm. It's just you can have more than 7 creatures with patrons, right?
In
Yeah.
theory, yeah. If you play Rampage.
Oh yeah. Show's like, come on.
Do I even have Emperor in this deck? It's like the Gadgetzin Auctioneer Curse where you rebuild it back in the days, and you just forgot to put it in your Miracle Rogue list, and then you laddered.
Yeah, if you look at Trump, he's actually, I think he's just doing the math right now. He's like, how much HP do I need to be perfectly safe to not play anything?
The reason Show hasn't killed that creature is exactly for that reason, that he needs more whirlwind effects to hit into Trump's minions.
Yeah. Show's doing, this is like, usually when we play Patron out here, you have a running count. You're like, if I get the second whirlwind, I'll have this much damage with, and then you just like, you have the whole equation. Like, you can even do a spreadsheet. Me and Sane were trying to make one. And so you have the whole spreadsheet filled out, or like as you play, like you don't do it during the turn, but you have the whole spreadsheet filled out, and the only variable is how many creatures they have. And also, you have to do like how many whirlwind, because some of your creatures will die to, like your unstable ghoul and be hit by 1 whirlwind, for example. That thing will only be hit by 2 whirlwinds, for example. But basically, you only have 2 variables that you plug in.
Where is Emperor Thorsten? What on earth? This is the worst.
Much armor.
Yep, and the thing is that Trump is going to be able to get himself a good round of armor. The thing is, doing that also buffs your opponent's minions, so there's no way you can actually afford it very often. You might do
It's
it
a
when the
hilarious
patience come
game.
out. Yeah, it's Come on, Emperor. 2 cards left. There you go.
Okay, so
what's the
Show
last
at
card?
this-
Does he wait?
At this point, Show might be thinking he needs like 2 Emperor ticks to win, but we'll see.
Well, the 2 inner rages might add up.
Yeah, the 200. It's like Crip said. The if you like, you might do more damage with Warsong Frothing Patron because you can make more than 7
More than
creatures with
7, yeah,
Patron.
exactly.
And especially with the inner rage, the Patron benefits a lot more from inner rage than the Frothing does. So I think that will happen unless he could magically get 2 ticks off with Emperor, which is never going to happen.
Yeah, he has to know what the last card in this deck is, because maybe he wants it for that combo.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You pretty much have time. You saw Grom. You're dead to rag rule. No, not even. You're too off. Okay.
Yeah, you're okay-ish to rag.
Maybe
Oh.
Trump's done the math and he
Hello.
can just like kill his own recombobulator here. Why not?
What if you play double armor smith, go face,
Yeah, then hit,
and
then
brawl?
brawl. I like
Then
it.
brawl your own minions. That's MLG.
Then
Oh, man.
show just makes 7 patrons and wins.
Yeah. Why would you need that last tick here?
Oh, so you could do double frothing and patron. You can't do
Double-
that right now, right? Can you? So you do? Yeah, it's 6.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can do. You
Oh,
can do
okay,
everything.
I didn't think you could do.
Probably
Okay,
the other
that's
one.
actually a lot of damage.
His last card is Whirlwind.
Yeah. Okay. So you can do everything. And Trump's out his shield maidens. He's played 1 shield block, so he could like look for the shield block with the acolyte. Is probably all he's thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, he might decide to.
Oh no!
Well, actually, the thing is, he hasn't seen Emperor, and this combo is not coming down until Emperor's out.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
so he
kind
hasn't-
of
he hasn't-
a way to answer the Emperor.
His last card is it Ghoul or Whirlwind or?
Whirlwind.
I don't think it's a ghoul because the
Okay.
ghouls we saw 2 of already. There's like no way he has
Okay.
any of this.
And so
All
can
right.
Trump get
Well,
armor?
that's a 8 combo piece Emperor there.
You got the. Alright, how much damage can you do? You can work on that.
Oh, here
Nice.
we go. Here we go. That's 8. It's 8 plus 4 plus 1.
8
That's
plus.
13. So he needs.
It's lethal. It's lethal. 2 bomb bots are 8.
Yeah.
So 16 on the board plus this death bite. Yeah, that's 20. Actually, so how much is it minimum damage?
It's
14
it's
minimum.
it's 13. It's 15 minimum. Oh no, because the boombots could hit the.
You can shield slam that thing.
These-
You can shield
yeah.
slam that thing, so it's
Oh.
14 minimum.
No, it's 15 because of fatigue.
Oh, okay. So 15 to is the range is okay.
I mean, he could win on the back of this. It's not even impossible, but is he gonna take it? Because he knows he's maybe dead
Yeah,
next
I
turn.
think
depending
he,
on how-
he should have a count, and he should be out of range if he's going for this play.
Okay, so he's just removing all the minions.
I don't know though. That doesn't seem like enough. Yeah, show's nodding. Show's got it.
Yeah.
I good done the
Trump,
math.
yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. Trump should have
Oh,
realized.
look how fast he's working. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta go. I quit stuff. Like, what?
Yeah. My name's not Zale.
Yeah, Trump should have caught that and gone for the Dr. Boom play. Unless he thinks maybe some people only play 1 in a range, but you know.
The attacks are not queued yet. What's going on?
That might be lethal.
It's got to be lethal.
You think it's lethal? You think it's enough still?
I don't
Well,
know.
it's
Show's
all about
nodding.
the rope.
Maybe
It's
show is
all
nodding
about
just
the
because
rope.
it's only play.
All right. Well, that's 7 apiece. 17,
34.
17.
The rope, man. The rope is crazy.
Yeah, I think that's like barely enough. I think he
Yeah.
won by like damage or something.
No, but the patrons spawned because if the patrons didn't
Trump is
spawn,
yawning.
he doesn't
Trump
have
is
lethal.
yawning.
Oh, you're right.
He's got 34, man. He's missing just a bit if he doesn't have. Well, never mind. he's
Okay,
got
okay.
It is one over.
Yeah. Oh man.
Wow.
Trump should have gone for the boom bots.
Trump is like, this game is so good. This is such balance. You can see it in his face. Oh well, I guess that'll
Well, I
be.
I
Patron
think
doing
Trump
what he
had an
does.
above 50% chance to win with the boombots.
Right.
Yeah, so you needed 3 damage out of a range of 8.
Yeah.
Before
it
that,
was
that's right.
above 50. I think it was
Mhm.
3.
And you have
Yeah.
to expect what's coming to you. So do you think actually maybe Trump made the misplay not going for that? Now that
No,
we're
definitely. He,
like
he should
super
have had a
hindsight?
count. He should have been able to calculate how much damage Show could do with no creatures, which was lethal. It's not that, I mean, there wasn't even like extra patrons, right? It was just like
Yeah.
the very basic.
Yeah, it wasn't like a super complicated one.
Well,
Yeah. I feel like maybe you could have done more damage if you double inner rage the same patron before World.
Yeah, yeah. I have to imagine Show's like he got it down though. He's tested both, you know.
Maybe
Yeah.
he just went for the BM one over, you know?
Maybe he
Okay.
went for
Oh,
the
yeah,
one
you
that
knew
didn't
both.
take forever to duplicate.
He needs to tilt Trump because he needs to be on tilt to lose to control freeze mage.
Yeah, it needs maybe even more than that.
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect strategy. You're just like, you know what? There's no way this ends up losing to freeze mage, so let's try to tilt the opponent. Yeah, a little bit of BM.
All right. Well, the chance on Irio wins here, it's very, very low. This is
Yeah,
one of
Trump's
this.
got
This
the,
might be the worst matchup out of all the decks in Team Liquid versus Valley Town match.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
And there's not much they could do about it. These are the last decks. This is match point. It is not unwinnable though. I think out of all the games that I've cast, I've seen Freeze Mage win about half the time. But
Yeah, whenever freeze mage
lucky
wins,
guy, I
though,
guess.
it involves the warrior not playing rag, maybe cutting a shield block or a shield maiden, and we know Trump's built his control warrior with freeze mage in mind. 2 shield maiden, 2 shield blocks, Ragnaros.
Yeah, there's no way you don't. I mean,
Yeah.
especially knowing that freeze mage is everywhere right now in the league. I think it's one of the
Well,
most recurring commentaries. So
Usually what I see is like in the times that the mage wins, and again I've seen this quite a bit. It's like an Alistraza that like takes a lot of work to kill, and then comes an unchallenged Archmage Antonidas, and that's the win condition basically.
Yeah. You could still win if they have full removal for all your big guys, but maybe like a swing into your Emperor will give you the extra push you need as well.
Yeah. Yeah, basically if you have 3 things that kill those 3 creatures, it's really, really hard to lose as the warrior.
yeah, there you have like 3 threats to handle. The rest is usually somewhat straightforward.
Fodder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so Nair is looking for like double scientist here to chip off the armor and an arcane intellect. Trump's got a pretty decent hand already.
Yeah,
He's got
it's already
execute
starting pretty well.
already. That might be about as good as you can hope for,
And
honestly.
Dr. Boom is good. I heard.
Yeah.
Is it a good threat card against
Yeah,
against
because
mage?
that's like the turn they want to flame strike.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Take 8.
as the mage, you have the Archmage and the coin.
Titus,
Yeah.
and Acolyte, which is good, and the Doomsayer on the. This is actually a great Doomsayer.
Both players have really good hands.
And the Alex. Oh, no, that's the other person's Alex.
Yeah.
Wrong mage.
Mm.
Yeah. Still though,
Armor up.
pass. Armor up.
No, you got
Pass.
armor up before passing. You're misplaying it.
Alright, so what is Trump bluffing here?
sorry.
That he has a Owl? Or, I guess, execute.
You're just taking his time, maybe.
He
I don't know.
could kill it.
He could execute.
Yeah, he's trying to
If I'm
see.
not right here, I usually don't play the Acolyte here, but I think it looks like he's going to go for it. I would just play it on 5 for the guarantee.
Wait, there
too.
was a Pyroblast earlier in this deck. He could have top decked that to
He
win.
could have.
right?
He could have beat Trump. That's true.
Yeah, interesting. All right.
And he killed off his own scientist before the last turn to minimize, to increase the odds of drawing the Pyroblast, getting that secret out of the deck.
At this point, as the mage, you really have to hold on to the coin for Antonidas. So your hand actually gets super clogged. So it's sometimes you actually can't cast your draw card. So I'd be really happy to get one of the 3 mana secrets out of my hand on this turn because it doesn't draw. Then makes your hand smaller. It's just what you want right now. And the Acolyte is high risk, low reward. You're going to get 2 draws out of it, pretty much guaranteed, if you just wait till turn 5.
Okay. Well, we'll probably see an Acolyte from Trump or just another armor. Actually, we probably will see another armor. Armor is more important than drawing cards.
They're both about pretty. Yeah, no armors because you have like pretty much the cards you need. Belcher, or Belcher's not that good, but Dr. Boom, Alex, good enough.
You just wait it
That's
out,
wonderful.
basically. Like at some point, you'll be able to get a swing turn when when the mage tries to get their combo off. All you have to do is deflect it, and then you're pretty much staying in the game.
Yeah.
Well, I remember back when this was very common, and this was like one of the most common matchups you'd see because the 2 deck, like in the last Hero Standing format, for a while you had like a lot of Freeze Mage and a lot of Control Warrior, just Resident Sleeper each other to the end of the tourney.
More secrets. There we go.
Yeah, pretty good.
Second piece of removal, solid.
Probably see Acolyte armor up here from
You
Trump.
could see an Acolyte armor up. Or I think Belcher's a little bit better, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Acolyte armor up, especially with the Cruel in hand.
I mean, is
Maybe
it
Belcher doesn't actually accomplish anything. Okay, maybe armor backwards.
the only difference is, I guess, if you play Acolyte, there's a chance Neria plays his own and then draws more cards off of your Acolyte by smashing it into it, but he drew that anyway from his hero power. It's just that you're accelerating the process a bit.
Whoa,
Oh,
that's
never
really
mind.
aggressive.
Yeah.
It's actually reasonable.
Get a weapon. Yeah, he found one.
Yeah, but
Okay.
now his execute triggers are maybe a bit limited in some situations.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, you have 6 cards in hand. If you Acolyte and get 3, you don't overdraw. Seems like a pretty nice Acolyte turn then. You guess you're thinking about the Doomsayer, but that can get punished very easily.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
I mean, Blizzard almost never gets you value in this matchup,
Yeah.
so I guess you might as well take it next turn if it comes.
Yep.
At this
So as
point, yeah, you
though,
don't care that much about Trump getting one extra card.
Right.
It's like there's a few cards you're trying to dodge, like the Alex and the Lotheb if he plays out. Although we didn't see Lotheb out of Trump, though, did we?
Not yet.
We've seen
Not
pretty much
yet,
his whole
no.
deck.
Well, even though Show drew out his entire deck, Trump still had like 12 cards, so
Okay.
there's still a bit of mystery there. Wow, Ragnaros, there we go.
That's a
Very
good
solid.
card.
Yeah. So
That's
Dr.
what Trump
Boom
was fishing
Rag,
for.
Alex, that's a lot of pressure. Neri won't be able to do anything.
Yeah.
What a crazy card, though. When you think about it, like, I think it's one of the only weaknesses of Freeze Mage, like minion-wise. If you want to tech against Freeze Mage, Ragnaros is, of course, you could say Kazan Mystic, but that's
Yeah.
worse across the board. But Ragnaros is overall good against the field, and it's just super good against Freeze Mage.
Yeah,
So
it's
much effort
insane.
has to go into removing it.
Well,
All right,
playing
Fireball.
Doomsayer does stop the Doctor Boom.
Yeah, the Shredder is not as like obvious of a counter as Rag because it. Oh, okay, never mind. Thought that was going to the Shredder. I was gonna say,
Never mind, he's just trying to
It's
set up the
pretty solid
craziest
Yeah,
Archmage
so
in the world. All right.
he's real, but you know, when you're gonna go for like Archmage Alex against a control you need them not to have pressure, but Trump has a lot.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here.
It's still... Oh.
Wow, that works.
If you Doomsayer now, you still can't really Antonitis next turn. So you want to Antonitis on turn 9 with the coin.
Coin and Nova.
So you kind of want to delay your Doomsayer one more turn, if there's a way to do it.
What if you just Blizzard and wait? Is that just too bad?
Yeah, at the
You
same
can just,
time,
you
Nairi is
just Blizzard
pretty...
next turn. You just Blizzard Doomsayer
Yeah,
next turn.
Nairi is pretty confident this Doomsayer's not actually going to go off, though, so he's just going to do this turn.
And
So he
ping
can do that.
the...
So he can AoE this stuff down over 2 turns.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the biggest telegraph I've ever been sent. If I'm Trump, this is like a perfect tell of what I'm about to do.
Trump just slam the rag, hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's a great play. YOLO.
And so shield block, shield slam is probably better than execute. Or you can, it's nice to save the shield block for the bounce later when they're trying to kill you.
Mm-hmm. But how do you trigger execute easily?
Alright,
Armor
oh,
up.
fire you, yeah.
Yeah, they have the weapon
Yeah,
to help
it's-
with that, but it's a bit of a...
Okay. No. You're right.
Doing
That's
it, he's
good.
doing everything.
I like it.
Keeping the armor up.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, this really feels like, oh, well,
That's nice.
Yeah, you're pretty behind. I wouldn't be upset if he just slammed that right now. At the same time, he's looking at, he's like, well, maybe there's a small chance Blizzard Flame Strike clears kind of everything.
Okay.
He doesn't play rag here.
he's trying for it at least. 7 damage from those
Oh.
boom bots. That's
a
not what
lot.
Neria wanted. And Zap-O-Matic from the Shredder, of course.
Guaranteed. No doubt about it. 100%. Just like the bluegill.
Yeah. That turned out well. See, Trump was asking, Amaz was asking you earlier about how do you get those 100% right? You just throw them out.
Yeah.
And then when they work, you look like a genius. Works out.
I don't know about genius. There's not much intelligence that goes into predicting things like that.
You don't understand, Crip.
Oh.
Alright, so there's no need to Alex. Alex is 7, Rag is 8. You just Rag.
Yeah.
No, don't Alex. Yeah, don't Alex. Let's save that for yourself. Okay.
It's the
whatever.
same thing as ragging, pretty much.
Yeah, but there's a chance that Alex later can heal you.
Yeah.
I guess it
Okay.
conceals the rag.
That's not bad.
He's more burst with the Cruel and Rag, but
What about Emperor Frost Nova here?
The question is, what does that enable over just Archmage? I mean, what does that enable more for Archmage?
it burns the last removal. Like maybe Nairi's thinking, okay, he has one more removal Shield Slam, and then somehow Archmage is going to live, and I'll draw another Nova. I think he has another Nova, right? So we could do Archmage Nova the following turn.
Yeah.
And then Frostbolt to face to take out the weapon out, and then maybe the Archmage
What about Ping the Shredder, get a Doomsayer?
That sounds like a perfectly reasonable line of play.
Yeah. I think he's
Or
probably gonna have to
explosive
do that
shield, right?
after he sees Ragnaros come down.
Time runs out on me.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds good.
true, right?
Yeah, he's going to be forced into
He's
doing
gonna be
it.
forced into some silly stuff like that because
Yeah.
this is going really badly for Neria.
I like Emperor Frost Nova. It gives you a chance at coming back.
Yeah. Such a lopsided matchup, so I guess you just try out the most desperate plays if you have to, and if it works, well, all the better.
Actually, you can get an extra fireball from the fireball
Get an
with
extra fire.
with this
Yeah,
Emperor.
yeah.
If you keep up your ice block, maybe something can happen. Maybe.
Yeah, this
So
is
much
such
armor,
a weird. Yeah, the amount of armor that can be gained from Chump size is just ridiculous. Neria would have to basically, as you said, have an unchallenged Archmage.
Yeah, with 2 Doomsayers down, you could just freely just throw out the Armor Smith, because you know any board clears is going to kill your board.
Yeah, and give you like 4
You-
to 7
yeah, for
armor in the
HP.
process or whatever.
So you think you skip armoring this turn then?
You could do it next turn, yeah. Oh, we pop in the block here. I feel like this is the only way that Nyria could win, is ignoring them.
Yeah, he's ignoring the
Yeah.
Emperor, right? The only way for Neria to win this is for Trump to try to play.
But he doesn't have
well.
a second block, so it should work out.
Yeah.
But there might actually be no sequence where Nyria could win from here as well. Trump might have already figured that out.
Oh yeah, the block.
The fake block.
Well, yeah, that's a little hopeless, unfortunately. I wonder what's in that shredder though. Like, I want to see it.
It
like,
is shredder
We'll
time.
find out. It's
It
shredder
is
time.
shredder time. Explosive Sheep, does that let you clear with Flame Strike?
It helps a bit,
Quite.
but not quite.
You still don't
Alright.
lose because
Yeah, Trump
of,
actually doesn't have lethal with double freeze.
Oh, actually, yeah, he does.
Or
He
single
does.
freeze trade.
No, because if he trades, then Ragnaros kills him.
Right. Alright, so it's a double freeze.
Yeah, he needs the double freeze.
And then he'll just shield slam Rag. Okay. Alright.
Nope, that is gonna be it. Value Town takes it on the back of Trump's Warrior, try number 3 yet again.
Well, Trump does play shield Sylvanas. Interesting. He plays Sylvanas and Ysera. I'm not sure why. For what he's trying to do, but
Alright,
Should
well,
we
not
put it
too
out?
much of a surprise with the ending there. Oh, Trump takes it out!
Yeah, he does it after 3 tries, 3rd time's the charm. It took a little bit of effort though to
God,
get through
that-
all of those matches.
That
man.
shirt is ugly. Holy cow.
I'm gonna order one just to.
Yeah, I
It's
think I
not a
might
shirt.
get one too. Yeah.
What do you do with it though? Like
it's
what?
remarkably ugly, you know.
I think what you do is whenever you need to scare someone off, you just wear it.
Yep. Halloween shirts, boys.
Yeah. From Trump, only $19.99. Let's get some. All right, so the standings are showing up on the screen here, and it looks like there's a 3-way tie at the top right now.
Yep.
I w-
Value
I would
Town,
like to-
Nile,
yeah.
Superstar.
So the game wins is the first tiebreaker, but in the rules there is a second tiebreaker, which is the win ratio. And I'm pretty sure ours is pretty good since we went 6-1 against Liquid last week.
I
Liquid.
I'm not sure.
think the differential thing is just something that some websites have up. I don't think the losses actually matter that
No,
much.
it's in the rules. It's in the rules. It says game wins is the first tiebreaker, and then
Yeah.
if those are tied, then the differential.
All right, well, we
ratio.
understood the
I thought it was
head-to-head
just the matchups.
from us.
Yeah, I thought it was just a head-to-head. How did you guys do against Team Liquid? Have you guys played yet, or is that next week?
Yeah, that was last week. We went, how did we do? I don't quite remember. I think it was, 6-1.
Oh!
It was last week, 6-1.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, was
Oh,
it
no,
the
no,
best
not
score in the
Liquid.
league up until this point, or wasn't
yeah.
it the best
Not-
score in the
not
league up
Liquid.
until this point?
The other one. Valley Town.
Valley Town. No, that's our final match next week. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Next week it's me and Kibler, mono e mono, head to head for the Master of Duels.
Yeah, next week's the big week.
Settled.
The big week next
Yeah.
week. That is going to be the next time that
It's like a mini
Archon team.
5,000 tournament.
I believe it's going to be next week, Wednesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. EST. You guys should check that out if you had fun today. I have word from Amaz that there will be a special announcement before we end the stream today. So maybe some incentive to stick around the next few minutes. But for now, it's been great to cast you guys. Noxious Hype, great stuff. Hope to see you do well next week, Hype. Rooting for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Win the duels. Oh, wait. Apparently Amaz is jumping on.
Oh, hi
Oh,
there.
Hi. Hello, Amaz.
So, yeah, special announcement apparently, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have. They might just nothing special, right?
No, there's something. I need to
There is
check.
something special.
All right, so yeah, we are going to announce that the finale of Archon Team League Championships will be held in the Archon Team House. Oh man!
Whoa!
Yay.
Oh, what a surprise, right?
Oh my God.
Easy.
Can I come? Can
Oh,
I?
yeah. What? So far we have the three casters confirmed. So Crip, Noxious, and Frodan. They're confirmed, and of course we're gonna confirm teams as they make it to the finale. So like the first two teams in phase 1, and then the other two teams in phase 2 as well. It's gonna be September 11th, 13th. You guys can look at the chat. There will be a link to the info. And I hope to see you guys there. And of course, block out those times in your calendar because you don't want to miss it.
Are you
Right.
flying us out on September 11th?
No.
Da-da-da-da.
Flying you guys at September 9th.
All
Okay.
right. We're
We're
good.
safe.
Is it too
Did
soon?
something happen that day? I forgot.
Yeah, it's the day Kibler lost 2 games in a row.
Whoa. All right, guys. So that'll be it. Just shout out to our sponsors here, making the event happen. Amazon App Store, of course. They're doing the promotion thing, but Alpha Draft also doing some cool stuff. You can draft your fantasy team in the ATLC. You can win your share of $300,000 paid in cash every week by Alpha Draft. And the promotion is that you can sign up today for a $250 matching deposit bonus and get starting on drafting your team today. Yeah. All
Big
right.
money.
Big money. That's it from us. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the show. Be back next week. Check it out.